I'm Chris Jackamick, and I live in Las Vegas, Nevada. Throughout my military career, I spent the bulk of my career out in Las Vegas. It was the first job I had as I was protecting some sensitive resources out there at Nellis. I would deploy to Kuwait early on in my military career with a larger weaponry system to support Operation Southern Watch. And then from 2003 to 2006, I was part of the emerging drone mission for the United States Air Force and Department of Defense. We were fighting the wars in Iraq and Afghanistan from our backyard. You'd be in war for 12 hours of your shift, and then you'd drive home to your apartment here in Nevada. So psychologically, it was very odd. Like, you felt you were in the combat zone every day because you were seeing it on the screens and it was that important, but I don't know what it did to the human psyche at the time. Some things would kind of happen in my personal life after that would change a lot. When Adam joined the Marine Corps, it was a natural fit. Anybody who joins the military, especially after 9/11 happened, you're looking for that purpose. I think that's why he made the choice. It's like, let me go be a Marine. He was in between Fallujah and Ramadi during the heaviest parts of the fighting of the Iraq conflict. I mean, you hear guys like Jocko and everything talk about like the triangle of death. My brother was dead set in the middle of the triangle of death with a Marine unit. I think it changed him. Like, you look at everything across history, you read any of the books out there, war changes anybody that's been involved with it. Trauma or mass events like that changes anybody, and it really changed my brother. And I get that call. I get the text, actually, from my stepmom. It's like, you need to call me as soon as possible. Something's wrong with Adam. All right. Didn't think anything of it. And I'm about to pull off the highway to go celebrate and have some pizza with my classmates. And she's like, Adam's dead. Adam's dead. He had died by suicide that day. 25th of July, 2017. And it changed my world forever.
I think that was the first time I saw or heard someone broken through the phone. There was a time where I was concerned that he wasn't going to make it. There were times I thought, we're going to have to camp out outside of his house, or we might get that phone call. Are we ready for that phone call?
I couldn't catch a break. A fellow first sergeant I served with, he had died by suicide. On the day of my buddy's funeral, I'm going through social media, and I see this, what appears to be a manifesto from one of my old airmen. My first thought was like, today's not going to be a good day. And sadly, my hunch was right. He had killed his own family and taken his own life on the day of my buddy's funeral. It was just compounding trauma after trauma after trauma. I cracked. I fell hard with alcohol. That was rock bottom. I first heard about Mission 22 just by surfing the internet and looking on there and seeing some of the programs that they had available. I was like, something seems right about this. To be in a program like the R&R program with them and the innovative things that they're putting together, I have not seen in any other veteran nonprofit. It's putting all this stuff together to heal in the most effective way possible. They're making you do a lot of the hard work through reading, through audiobooks, through physical fitness, through nutrition, open discussion, critical thinking, neuroplasticity and cognitive feedback to where you're developing the brain more. It's given me a chance to regain my life. Cycling's been a big part of my recovery. Is around the time I retired, a little over a year ago, I set forth, as let me set this goal to ride 2,020 miles in 2020 for another veteran nonprofit that supports Gold Star families and those lost either to accident or to suicide. Every time I got on that bike, I was like, you know what? There's a name, there's a dash that I'm gonna honor today. Not the dates on the gravestone. It's like, I'm gonna honor that life. So it gave me purpose. And it just became like a release for me to where the pedals would spin and I would get out of my head for a little bit. physically I was starting to feel better. I could see the improvements, and I've tracked my data over the past year, and it's phenomenal on the growth that I've had on a bike.
He's just on a mission and is relentless about it. Every day he pushes it. From the loss of his brother and a number of different trauma that he had gone through in his life, it was absolutely critical for him to find something that he could sink his teeth into. I think he's taken the ball and run with it with Mission 22, especially the R&R, the recovery and resilience part. I think it makes him stronger in the person that he is today.
I don't know why I fell on the bike. It was just like, okay, it called to me, and then I kept going. So that scene from Forrest Gump where he just starts running one day and it ends up in Monument Valley in Utah? He's like, I'm tired, I think I'll go home now. I'm not tired yet. I'm not ready to throw the towel in like Forrest Gump did. I'm getting on that bike and I'm keeping on going, because there's something about it. There's something about just getting out in nature, having that breeze in your face and seeing some of the beautiful landscape here in Las Vegas, where it takes you away from the stressors and the challenges of the world for a little bit. And you can just appreciate the beauty that is out there and be in the moment. And then it got serious, because the Air Force enrolled me in the Air Force Wounded Warrior program, and it got transformed into Lo and Behold training. If I do this well, maybe I can go represent the Air Force. Maybe my grief and everything in my entire story can come to fruition because I can put the energy into something positive. If I made the team, I'd just be overwhelmed with emotion. I suffered a lot of my trauma because of my military service, but at the end, it's like, I gotta be grateful that I'm allowed to compete in this, because there are others who didn't make it home or lost the war at home. That's what it's about.
Oh my gosh, everybody. I am so excited. My heart's pumping. My hands are sweaty. Please welcome our very own director of the Air Force Wounded Warrior Program, Colonel Rich Obert. Over to you, sir.
Welcome, warriors and athletes. Today we're going to announce the 2021 Air Force Team for Warrior Games. The selection was difficult as there were many hardworking and deserving individuals, and the work and dedication was apparent by all. I know the suspense is killing you, so I'll turn it back over to Marcia. Good luck to each of you. Back to you, Marcia.
All right, thank you, sir.
Starting us out from Air Education and Training Command, Major Daniel, Lieutenant Dan Cariña.
Yes, yes, yes. Air Combat Command, out of Texas, Master Sergeant Nicole Nikki Favuza.
From Valdosta, Georgia, Technical Sergeant retired Antonio Del Vecchio.
From East Liberty, Ohio, Airman retired Pete Murphy.
Technical Sergeant retired Margie Hinkle.
And coming up next, former pole vaulter, that is very similar to Blaze Gallardi, coming to you from Las Vegas, Nevada, Master Sergeant retired Chris Jacksomek.
Warrior Games competitor back on the team, Staff Sergeant retired Joseph Alex Pate.
Whew.
What? He did
All right.
big things back in the day. He's gonna do big things. Coming to you from St. Henry.
Wow.
Perry.
We look at Mission 22 and we see all the shirts, we see all the flags out there. I don't think enough of the people understand how big the programs actually are and how that is actually in there. And like, I'm a benefactor from the donations of these private donors that are there to allow me to live life, to improve life for not only myself, but for friends, for fellow veterans, for my children, for my girlfriend, for my family, is to be that, to say, you know what? We can keep going at the end of the day. We can keep going, no matter how hard it gets. No matter how difficult life becomes, we can keep going.
We have this value in the Air Force, this belief, a wingman concept. We're going to take care of each other. We've got each other. And it gives us hope, right? And so if you have been knocked down, I say this a lot, by the baseball bat of life, right? You're on the ground. If you know that someone's got you, it's got your six, no matter what, that's going to help you get back up again. And that's part of Mission 22, I think, for him. That connection, that human connection, that's what's going to save us. Yeah, that's what saved him. He can be a light in darkness. No matter how dark that spiral is, to know that someone got back up again and navigated their way out, that they can get through it too, that they are not alone. Not for one moment of one day. That's what he could be. He could be a beacon of light.
We are live here for the Dirt Track Bank Friday Night Lights. Gears Unlimited 358 modified event here. The first of three. You guys know the deal. You're used to having Joe. I told you last week you would have Joe back. Well, Joe not feeling too well here. Sent me a message early this morning, late last night, whatever you want to call it, asking me if I'd fill in. I told Joe, of course, anytime. Love doing the show here for you boys for the Friday Night Lights. Always fun, always good, hard, clean racing. And as you can see up top, I got it right once here. Lucas Oil Speedway. It's filled out for the first time, I think, since I've been with you guys in 3 weeks. Normally I have to catch it myself. I see Jason Butterfield out there watching. We got Randy Carter, Roxanne Jones. Exactly right. The CSC boys are back in town. Of course, referring to Braden Carter, Michael Carter, and where is... Oh, it's terrible. I used the cheat sheet to be able to see him. I don't see him here. Cale Smith, that's right. I had to think about it. I knew it would come to me. Don't see Cale in here, so we at least got two of the boys here tonight. I believe there is one more too. I should know. I don't think he's here. I think he's kind of the late model guy. Roxanne, you can fill in. Appreciate that, Jason. I try to do a decent job here. I didn't mean to come on so close and push it there, play the national anthem without me even talking. But, you know, normally Joe has to admin, do the driver's meeting. I was doing that those couple weeks, but I think we've got a crew in there. So I get to just sit up here, talk, or we're going to figure out together when they decide to advance these things. I'm not really going to know until you guys do. So we're just along for the ride here tonight. Got a couple new things here. You see that dust? I wanted to come down here and give you a little bit. That's new. We had it a year ago about, I want to say, but drivers complained that, you know, it got a little too heavy. It was a little too much to deal with. So they took it back to the basics here, started to work on it. And I think they've done a pretty good job. You know, drivers still saying it's pretty difficult to see as the night will age on. You'll see it gets much hazier than that. But that's what happens, and that's why you want to be out front and you don't want to be stuck in traffic. So it's just all the more realism to me, and I'm really looking forward to it. Got Jesse Ingram out there, Timothy Eldridge rooting for Caden Berry. Jesse, Ryan Phillips, Joey Gilkerson, Mike Gilkerson. Oh, maybe adding them, not too sure. Appreciate you trying to get them here to watch the show, though. We got Roxanne. Oh, yeah, Kyle Hardy. Thank you. Thank you, Roxanne. You always come through. It's, seriously, this, you know, you can say what you want. It sounds corny, but, man, you guys really are probably the best fan base here in the virtual world of leagues that I get to call on a regular basis. You guys do an absolute phenomenal job of talking the show through. And speaking of talking the show through, Shaggy talked through that. The 011 of Randall Dixon currently quick time, but not for long. DJ in the 20 machine. He parks it on the top of the sheet. Can he get even quicker here? He rolls through 3 and 4. A little bumpy. Let's see. DJ going to have to stick with that first time, but still quick time is, let's see here. Who's coming around? Clay Christopherson gets done. He brings it home P9. Joseph Grandy, he's a guy who we could talk about possibly sitting on the pole of this thing. Let's see what the 518 has. He rolls through 3 and 4. This is going to be lap number 1. Joseph Grandy puts it in the top 10. P8 for now. Let's see. Can he improve here? Second and final lap. Joseph slower through sector 1. Quicker through sector 2. So can he improve? No, he's going to stay P8. P8 for the 518. And let's see here. We got Scrappy out here. Lap number 1 coming to see. Take his time. Oh, that's quick time for the young kid. Needed a week off, but man, I hate to tell you, that's about to disappear. You saw purple. There it is. Isaac Salas, your pole sitter. Braden comes around purple through sector 2. Can he take it back? No, he can. Isaac Salas looks like is going to take the pole here at Lucas Oil Speedway. Only one more guy can get it done, Caden Berry, and he's going to need a big improvement. Caden's not going to get it. Going to stay P13 in that 12 machine. And Caden, he's mastered the late models. He's absolutely annihilated the sprint cars, but this one, he's still, this is where he's trying to work himself home a little bit. There we go. Somehow, my apologies if you just heard music in the background. My wife yelled out. I think she tried to turn on music, and, well, of course, it kicked on through my computer. That's just Shaggy's luck. Didn't notice it here, but I think we caught it in time. Let's go ahead. Let's take a look at the starting grid here. heat race number 1. Rounding out the field on the outside of row number 5, and that number 1, Hunter McDougal, into his inside in the 21, Blackjack Anthony Vitale Jr. Outside of row number 4 in the 018, that's Logan Wentz, and his inside in that 45, Travis Anderson. B10, Brandon Templeton takes that 31 and lines up on the outside of Caden Berry in the 12, that's row number 3, and right in front of them to the outside of row number 2 in the 10, Donald Ingram. His inside in the 32, that's the Ant-Man Anthony Morano, row number 1 to the outside, Big Papa Michael Carter. And your pole sitter here, slide job, Isaac Salas, is going to go around an extra lap here. Going to give Shaggy some time. And man, you know what? I just realized it is, actually. It wasn't that. We got to go in here real quick. It's these ambient sounds. It's that update from iRacing. That's what it's got to be. There we go. I think it's gone now, or Shaggy's just going crazy. Hey, but the green flag is high. It's ready to fly. Heat race number 1 underway. Who's going to start on the pole for tonight's feature here at the Lucas Oil Speedway? Battle on here in the back. They were almost 3 wide. Caden Berry trying to move on up. He wants to possibly get to the high side, at least that middle, but I can tell you who doesn't want to. That 32, the Ant-Man. He loves to slow that thing down and ride the bottom. Whether it's the fastest way around or not, that 32 is going to try to make it work. But right now, Isaac Salas leads the way. Big Papa right behind him. 6 laps to go. You don't need to get too aggressive here, but you also know, I mean, at Lucas Oil Speedway, another track where it's difficult to pass. The dust is becoming a thing now. Like I say, you can see it's starting to pick up. It's going to get even worse here as the night rolls on. So if you're Michael Carter, you want to make it easier on yourself, and you'll want to try and get by as quick as you can. Let's see if we can actually right off the... Nope, that's terrible. It's right along with Caden Berry here on the inside, getting ready to come to 3 to go next time around. Caden trying to step it up on that top shelf, trying to get a big run, but like I say here, 3 to go this time. You need a little more satisfaction. You can't wait for it. You need it right now. You need it immediately, and Isaac Salas, the one, quick time here in qualifying, able to take that middle lane right away through 1 and 2 and just kind of dominate this show. We're rolling through 3 and 4, looking to get that white flag, and we got one more trip around. Isaac Salas just running it smooth here. Throws it into 3 and 4 for the final time. You see driver single file. Isaac Salas sees the checkered, and he's going to start on the pole for tonight's feature, followed by Michael Carter, Donald Ingram, and the Ant-Man punch their ticket to the show. Caden Berry, Brandon Templeton, Travis Anderson, Blackjack, Logan Wentz, and Hunter McDougal to the B main here. And we will have a B main tonight. I believe we had, man, I should have looked. I should have paid more attention. I think it was just over 24. It was around 27, 28. So we will have the B main tonight for sure. And we got a couple heat races coming before that. And here's the starting grid for heat race number 2. Starting on the outside of row number 5 in the 85, that's Nick Berry into his inside in the 40 machine, James Ingram. Mark Gilbert lines up on the outside of row number 4 in the 17 into his inside in the 51, Clay Christopherson. Superman lines up on the outside of row number 3 in that 18 into his inside in the 2, Justin Sick. Hunter Grand, Joseph Grandy lines up on the outside of row number 2, and his inside in the 79, Dean Reynolds. Randall Dixon lines up on the outside of row number 1, and starting on the pole for heat race number 2, in the 05, that's Scrappy Doo, Braden Carter. Because we'll have to see if Braden can follow the blueprint there from Isaac Salas, or if maybe does it his own way here. I can tell you, you see the guys in the back here. Let's real quick. Oh, I thought I clicked Nick Berry. Okay, so it's not as bad sitting in the car you see when you're up close. Now, when you're a little further away, you can see it. And it's gonna get rough here throughout the night, but the green flag is high, it's ready to fly. Heat race number 2 underway. Braden Carter with a great jump there through 1 and 2. He takes the early lead. Dino trying to put the pressure on the 011 Randall Dixon, trying to move that 79 on up to P2 at the same time. 100 grand on the top shelf, 3 wide. It's just contact in the back. Mark Gilbert goes around. He's got damage. He's going to the infield. 3 wide again. Clay Christopherson stuck in on the bottom. Justin Sick in the middle. He tries to close the door. Clay won't go away. They touch. 3 wide. They touch again. And Clay maybe getting the message now. Backs off a little bit. Doesn't drive it in as deep. And they get rewarded there. Putt trying to find some drive downstairs in the basement. Dino closing up on P2 here. He's all over the back of the 011. Randall Dixon doing a good job of staying with the 05 there, Braden Carter. It's a little closer heat race. Isaac started to walk away there early on and then got run down, but this seems to, now Shaggy brings that up here. Randall loses 2/10 that lap, maybe looking up in the mirror a little bit as Joseph Grandy goes off. He gets into the outside wall. He turns sideways. He's got a toe, and just like that, Joseph Grandy, welcome to the B main. Clay Christopherson holding on to that 4th and final transfer spot as the battle on behind him. Kurt Schatzer running that 18 around the inside. Justin Sick in the 2, trying to rip the outside, find some momentum. 2 laps to go. I know they got to work on each other, but at the same time, they're letting that 51 walk away, and they're watching their ticket here to the show disappear as we cross the stripe. White flag in the air. 1 more trip around. Braden Carter started up front, looking to finish there. 1 more time through 3 and 4. He can see that checkered flag, and he's going to start on the outside of the front row for tonight's feature. Randall Dixon, Dean Reynolds, and Clay Christopherson punch their ticket. Justin Sick, Kurt Schatzer, Nick Berry, James Ingram, Joseph Grandy, and Mark Gilbert to the B main. As we get ready for our 3rd and final heat race here for the Gears Unlimited 358 Modifieds. Let's take a look at your starting lineup. To the inside of row number 5 in the 47, that's Austin Tremblay. Outside of row number 4 in the 43, that's Andrew Harley. And to his inside in the 213, Michael Vitale. Brian Dickens lines up in the 122 on the outside of row number 3, and to his inside in that number 11, that's Kelly Wheeler. The 238 of Anthony Marvulio lines up on the outside of row 2, and to his inside, that lucky number 777, Jesse Ingram. Row number 1 for your 3rd and final heat race to the outside in the 4, that's Scott Rayome. And to his inside, his teammate, in the number 20, DJ Dylan DeWert. FTM front row here. They want to keep it that way, but I'm telling you, Scott Rayome, he knows. I really do mean it. You're going to see these top 3 guys. It's going to be tough to get into 3rd. So, if you want to get up in that top 3, you got to win your heat race. That's the best ticket. Scott, if he's got to get aggressive here early on, but be nice, You want to pinch your teammate down. You don't want to give him too much room to float up in the middle of the corners. That's how you're going to beat people off. But we got Courtney out there rooting for Justin Sick as always. Gail rooting on the Berry bunch. Roxanne rooting for Braden. We got Rhonda Ryder rooting for Nick. We got Jason rooting for Dino. As we roll through 3 and 4, the green flag is high. It's ready to fly. Heat race number 3 is underway. As Shaggy remembers to bring back up the ticker, and all is good here at Lucas Oil Speedway. Scott Rayome with a great run out of 1 and 2. I told you he's got to turn the wick up. DJ with a slide job. And here he goes to the inside. I just realized we have that double over, so Shaggy's going to picture, but boy, oh boy, there they go. They made contact. Just what I said they didn't want to do. Opens the door for the 238 of Anthony Marvulio. And boy, oh boy, he better go down the street to the gas station and buy a lottery ticket. What a move here for the 238. Now he's just got to keep his head down. You don't want to give up the bottom here coming off the corners. Roll that middle and let those boys behind you beat on each other. Let them play a little bit. DJ to the inside, trying to move back to P2. Dylan trying to fight off his teammate, and here comes Kelly Wheeler in the 11. Boy, oh boy, good run here for the 11. Can he find a way around the 4? Does he go in here and make this 11 look like a double wide? For now, keeps it on the bottom, and the 122 of Brian Dickens going to wish he did go in there and send it. Meanwhile, that 777 right now doesn't seem to have much luck to it. Can't get that thing together. If he loses his spot to Kelly Wheeler, he's going to lose his ticket here straight to the show. Only the top 4 make it. Third and final heat race. DJ looking back for the lead here. Can the 238 hold him off as we roll through 3 and 4? Anthony trying to carry some speed off the top. They're side by side at the line. Anthony Marvulio looking for a big run here going down the backstretch. He found it. Can he defend DJ here through 3 and 4? Dylan keeping it on the bottom. Coming to the checkers. Give it to Anthony Marvulio. DJ P2. Scott Rayome 3rd. And Jesse Ingram your 4th and final transfer. Brian Dickens, Kelly Wheeler, Andrew Harley, Michael Vitale, and Austin Tremblay to the B main. And speaking of the B main, going to take 12. Going to send 5 home, it looks like. So let's go ahead. Let's take a look here at our starting grid for heat race. For your B main, excuse me. Starting on the inside of row number 9, that's a 17 of Mark Gilbert. And the outside of row number 8 in the 1, Hunter McDougal into his inside in the 47. That's Austin Tremblay. Joseph Grandy, 100 grand, lines up on the outside of row number 7 into his inside in the 018, Logan Wentz. Michael Vitale takes that 213 and lines up on the outside of row number 6 and is inside James Ingram. Anthony Vitale Jr. lines up on the outside of row number 5 into his inside in that 43, Andrew Harley. Row number 4 to the outside, Nick Berry into his inside, Travis Anderson. Row number 3 to the outside in the 1-1, Kelly Wheeler into his inside, Superman Kurt Schatzer. Row number 2, we got B-Temp, Brandon Templeton, into his inside in the 122, his teammate, I believe their teammate, Brian Dickens. Row number 1 to the outside, Justin Sick, into the inside, Caden Berry. Remember here, taking 12, so we're going to keep focused on, that 12th position. That's where the action's going to be. Right now, the 18 of Logan Wentz has that spot, but for how long? As the green flag flies, Caden Berry drops the hammer. He leads us to the green flag. Logan Wentz right now looking to the inside here, trying to lock up 12. Look at that 40 machine, Austin Tremblay. Now he's the last man out. These guys up front, though, you'd think they'd settle down a little bit, especially with as hard as the guys racing behind. Well, no. Every spot here in the starting grid of the feature matters. You gotta go for it when you can get it. Caden Berry easily leading the way here. B-Temp rips the outside. Let's go back to 12 here. It's Joseph Grandy. He's holding on to that 12th and final transfer spot. Austin Tremblay in the 47. He sends it in. Grandy loops around. No! Joseph Grandy, there it goes. His night is over just like that. And now the man sitting in that 12th final transfer spot is the one of Hunter McDougal. Tough break for $100,000 here. He's gonna have to load it up in the trailer early. Look to get back out here in the late models, but right now Michael Vitale in that 213. He has got a lot of ground to make up. Don't know. I mean, he's got 10 laps, plenty of time, but really going to have to put his head down, and he's going to have that 47 of Austin Tremblay beating down the door here. Let's go back up front. Let's take a look, see what happened. You see Caden Berry. He is out front. He is gone. Actually, you know what? Let's sit here on the backstretch. Let's watch him. Let's see it here. Caden, pretty good lead, almost a second. Here comes Justin. There goes the rest of the field, racing pretty hard. Oh, Michael Vitale, you just saw him bounce off the wall there. He is searching for all that he can in that red and yellow machine. He's closing the gap here in a P12. Nick Berry, I know he's got a lot of fans out there, man. They are rooting him on, but is it enough? Will he be able to hold off the 213? 7 more trips around. Will they get physical up here? Guys still running hard, side by side. Does somebody maybe get nudged out of the way here? Do both Nick Berry and Michael Vitale make the show? You know, do they get a little bit of luck here? Michael Vitale looks to drive. I thought he was going to drive under there. It looked like he lifted off. It's right on the nose here, that 213. Oh, maybe a little contact here. He's going to send it in. Oh, boy! Gets into that inside touring tire, and just like that, Michael Vitale, he does a 360, loops it around, but that left front tire is broken. That is going to end his night. Nick Berry, now he's got a new guy behind him here, the 47 of Austin Tremblay. What can Austin Tremblay do? He just learned what not to do. Let's see here. We're going to stay in the nose cam this time. Oh, yeah, because he was maybe going to hit the tire. Nick goes down there, shuts the door, getting defensive. And this is where, if you're Austin Tremblay, maybe got to get those elbows out, make this thing wide here. Can't let him bully you down the track, or if he does, yes, do just that. Try to diamond underneath, battle on, slight contact, coming down the backstretch. This is for the final transfer spot. He throws the slide job. Nick Berry counters underneath, white flag in the air. Austin returns the favor. He shuts the door. Nick didn't go anywhere. Can he send it into 3 and 4? He gets into the backstretch wall. As we come out of 3 and 4, Austin Tremblay takes the 12th and final transfer. Caden Berry, Justin Sick, Brian Dickens, Brandon Templeton, Kurt Schatzer, Andrew Harley, Kelly Wheeler, Travis Anderson, Anthony Vitale Jr., Logan Wentz, Hunter McDougal, and Austin Tremblay make it to the A main. We should get ready here for it. There we go. Took a little longer than I anticipated there for the Gears Unlimited 358 modified warm-ups. But we're here. All is right in the world. And well, Shaggy's going to mute his mic here, grab a drink real quick, and let me know who you're rooting for in that chat box. I see we got Faith-Based Motorsports, as always, rooting for the Berry Boys. Roxanne rooting for CSC. We got Butters rooting on Dino, and I'd imagine Venom Motorsports. Wanda Ryder rooting on Nick there. It was oh so close. Thought he was going to get it. Like I say here, enjoy the sounds of Lucas Oil Speedway, and we'll be right back. see, not too dusty for these guys right now. Pretty spread out, but you know, we put them in a pack here. It's going to be fun, but right now, DJ, this man, he's at the top of the speed charts, running behind his teammate there in the 32. They're going to be battling hard all night here at Lucas Oil Speedway. Anthony's going to have to march his way on up to the field. Scrappy there, P5. He starts on the front row. Isaac Salas, P8, starting on the front row. So our leaders, not the quickest in warm-ups. They're towards the front, but definitely may see some movement here throughout the race this evening. As you hear Shaggy crack open his world-famous ice-cold Mountain Dew. I'm telling you, the caffeine addiction is real, but so is the addiction for some Friday night dirt track racing. And with that here, let's take a look at the starting grid for tonight's feature. Starting on the outside of row number 12, Austin Tremblay and his inside, Hunter McDougal. Row number 11 to the outside in the 018, Logan Wentz. And his inside, Blackjack Anthony Vitale Jr. Row number 10 to the outside in the 45, that's Travis Anderson. And to his inside in the 11, Kelly Wheeler. Andrew Harley takes the 43 and lines up on the outside of row 9. It is inside the 218 of Superman Kurt Schatzer. B-Temp lines up on the outside of row number 8 in that 31 machine, and is inside in the 122, Brian Dickens. Justin Sick lines up on the outside of row number 7 in that 2 machine, and is inside in the 1-2, the New Hampshire Rocket, Caden Berry. Outside of row number 6 in the Lucky 777, that's Jesse Ingram, and is inside in the 51, Putt Clay Christopherson. The Ant-Man lines up on the outside of row number 5, and is inside his teammate in the 4, Scott Rayone. Dino lines up to the outside of row number 4, and his inside, we've got the 10 of Donald Ingram. Row number 3 to the outside in the 20 machine, DJ Dylan DeWert. And to his inside, the 011 of Randall Dixon. Row number 2 to the outside in the 15, Big Papa Michael Carter. And to his inside in the 238, Anthony Marfolio. Row number 1 for tonight's Gears Unlimited 358 modified feature. Scrappy Doo to the outside, slide job, Isaac Salas to the inside. Let me know who you got. Shaggy's got slide job tonight. The green flag is high. It's ready to fly. 30 left to play in the clay at Lucas Oil Speedway. Isaac Salas with what I said. A slide job there through 1 and 2. Gets to that top shelf, and he's looking to plant it here. Wants to bring that thing home as we watch him cross the stripe here. Lap number 1, 2, and 3 wide all throughout the field. Turning into the Dust Bowl there in the middle of 1 and 2 is Dino trying to fight on the outside. He's got Anthony going up that 1 step higher behind him. Dino almost 4 wide. Is there 3 wide behind him? Caden Berry on the bottom, wowing that thing up, just trying to find some grip. Caden Berry, man, he is trying to make it work downstairs, but it's not easy in this pack. We're going to try to keep an eye on that 12. Look at him. Inside, just putting away here as the drivers battle all throughout. You know what? Shaggy's going to be quiet here. You guys got to listen to this. And then, of course, Shaggy clicks the scenic camera to ruin all of it at the end and make it all look bad. All that was good must be shamed. And DJ here started 6th up to P4. Looking to carry that thing the whole way around the outside of the speedway, but he's coming up on some traffic. The 3 guys in front of him, they're doing the same thing. He's going to have to do something different here. And once I say something different, nobody else was doing that through 1 and 2. So, you know what? He's going to do what nobody else is doing through 3 and 4. Let's give it a try, Shaggy. Can we make it work? Didn't look like it had much success here, but for the first time, caution comes out here at the Lucas Oil Speedway. May have a couple guys involved here. Let's get us a camera angle. Scott Rayome, did he get some help there? Did that start maybe a little earlier? No, okay. He just hits the bumps. Tightens up. 3 wide. He gets pushed into that outside wall, and caution's out here. Kelly Wheeler gets turned as well. In that separate incident, you kind of saw them try to squeak by underneath. You can try to get a view of that here. So the 44 actually gets into the wall as well. Kelly's maybe checking up a little bit. I think he's going to get some help here from that one machine. He does, and Kelly Wheeler ends up going around. Was able to save it. But I think he is still going to lose positions. It's a tough break there with Kelly Wheeler. See here, do we get the... Do we do a little flag change here? Do we get the 1 to green? We do get the 1 to green, and well, the big giveaway there is the pace truck pulls off, so we'll head down the backstretch here one more time as we get ready to go play here. With 22 laps to go when we refire, as Isaac blinked out there for a quick second. That wasn't fun. Drops the hammer. We're back racing here at Lucas Oil. Oh, man, they almost got 3 wide. Big Papa putting the heat on his son here, trying to move that 1-5 up. And now DJ, oh, he saw space. Space denied. And just like that, we're under caution here for the second time. And, ooh, man. Let's take a look here, but I think DJ might be a little upset with this one here. Let's go up to the blimp. Let's take a look, see if we can see what happened. I mean, he's... that's close. I mean, Mike is sliding up, but he's there, I think, and... It's kind of a case of, we get a little, let's see here, will this go by the sign? And I mean, it's really got to be 50-50 on that one, because Michael does come up, but as much as Dylan doesn't want to, there is about half a groove up there. You could have went up a little higher. It's not like Mike came up and slammed him. It was kind of a slow slider. I mean, not that it's going to make you feel any better, but I think equal parts to blame here. But it doesn't matter what Shaggy thinks. As we roll through 3 and 4, we get ready to go play once again. 2 cautions so far in the Gears Unlimited 358 Modifieds as Isaac Salas drops the hammer. Good restart for Scrappy. Let's see if he can put some pressure here on Isaac. Immediately steps up that 1 lane, tries to get that run. He's got a comforting look in his mirror. He's got his dad behind him, so maybe able to get aggressive here, think about making a pass on Isaac Salas, and maybe necessarily not paying for it. So we'll have to see. And at the same time, Michael Carter, here he comes. He's running down this kid. He's all over the 5. Maybe he thinks about ducking out, making a pass here, and moving on up to P2. Big Papa reeling in here. Scrappy do. We go back through the field. Let's find Caden Berry up 5 spots. Logan Wentz up 8 spots here. Started 22nd, up to 14th. Kurt Schatzer there, proving to be a little tough task though on the outside. You're seeing them battling 3 wide in front of them. Clay Christopherson to the inside, Jesse to the middle, and B Temp on the outside. This has been 3 wide now for a lap. These guys are making it work. Plenty of play to for Clay to play in here, and they're proving it at Lucas Oil Speedway. Clay Christopherson looking to come away the strong man, though. He floats up, gets Jesse a little uncomfortable. Slide job. B-Temp's got to lift out. Now all of a sudden, he's got to drive through the red mist here. Jesse Ingram, slide job. B-Temp can't go anywhere. He gets bumped by Kurt Schatzer, and we're going to have our third caution here as Andrew Harley in the 43 also involved, but we saw it happen live. 3 wide at Lucas Oil. They made it work for a while, but it really was a pipe dream. We knew it wasn't going to last. Jesse Ingram here. Can we even see through the smoke? Throws that slide job. B-Temp can't go up that lane higher or check up in time. He gets into the back. He then gets a shot from Kurt Schatzer hard into the outside wall for Brandon Templeton. Andrew Harley then, I imagine he's going to come along. Justin Sick just misses. There's Andrew, nowhere to go. And just like that, 2 cars involved in an accident here coming out of turn 2 at Lucas Oil Speedway. As the pace truck pulls off, get ready to go back green here. Let us know who you're rooting for. I got my pick in. I told you I was rooting for Isaac. I'm not necessarily rooting for him, just, I have my pick to win. I know these drivers pretty well, getting pretty good at this. Green flag out. We're over halfway here. 14 laps to go. Slide job. Scrappy can't get that peak up. He's going to send it in deep. We're going to get a slide job for the lead. He's going to send it in. Isaac counters back 5 with a good run. Isaac's got it at the line. Back and forth. Here he comes. Good run out of 2. He's going to send it in. Isaac goes down there. He shuts the door. He slides up, but Scrappy with a better run. We got a new leader here. 12 laps to go. Braden Carter completes the pass. Now he's got to hold on to it. He's got his old man coming here, making a charge. And we got Isaac trying to come back as meanwhile, 3 wide back behind. Anthony Morano in it, Randall Dixon in it. Look at Dino up there. Kurt Schatzer trying to move on up as well. Dean Reynolds started this thing 8th, currently running 10th. So not on the move, sinking a little bit. But I'll tell you, Big Papa here, he moves on up. Isaac blinking a little bit. There he goes, he's back. Currently running P3, but we got a Carter 1-2 here as Braden out front, Big Papa P2, and look at the man who won the B-Main, Caden Berry, up into the top 5. The New Hampshire Rocket lit the fuse here in the 358s. Rolling that bottom, finding grip where no one else is. He's up to P4. He's got plenty of time to go for this podium. Can the Rocket find a way on by? Slide job. Isaac saw it in the mirror, but we got a battle for the lead. Slide job. Michael Carter's got it at the line. Give it to Big Papa. Braden sends it in deep. Michael's got to get in the brakes. He's got to cut back under. That allows Isaac Salas to reel these guys back in. He forgets how well the bottom's working for Nick Berry. He left the door open. Nick taking a peek to the inside. 6 laps to go here, going down the backstretch at Lucas Oil Speedway. Man, oh man, it's looking good for Braden or Michael Carter. But I'll tell you what, if you had the 12 on your bingo card, holy Hannah, here he comes up to the podium, throws a slide job on the 5. He's going to get the basement open, Isaac, though. Isaac, wow, almost gets into that tire. He's got to get on the binders. Big run off the top for the 12. Nick Berry holds on to 3rd at the line. If these guys battle too much, they're going to let those front 2 walk away. As you got to think, Michael Carter, he's got to be drawing up plans in his head for one more go here at the Kid. I mean, you know, he's definitely going to feel good watching his son win, but it always feels better to hold up the hardware yourself. And as we roll out of 3 and 4, Big Papa's got 4 turns to get it done here. Can he find or 8 turns, excuse me. Can he find a way on by? Through 3 and 4, white flag in his hand, ready to fly. One more trip around. What's going to happen up front? Braden goes downstairs. He shuts the door. Going into the backstretch. He's got a 2-car length lead. You got to think Scrappy's got enough to hold on to it. And he's going to take the checkered flag at Lucas Oil Speedway. Big Papa right behind him. Cade Berry 13th to 3rd, up 10 spots. What a run for the New Hampshire Rocket. Isaac Salas 4th. Anthony Marvulio rounds out your top 5. Your hard charger here this evening, Logan Wentz, started 22nd, up to 11th. Great job for Logan Wentz here. And, of course, it's the Gears Unlimited hard charger. I knew that. Now we see Braden Carter. He parked that thing real quick in Vitaly Motorsports victory lane, and they're going to wait for Shaggy to pull them up into Discord for their interviews. Another fantastic race. These guys put on a great show once again. As Shaggy gave Isaac, it looked like the commentator's curse. Came out and bit him there at the end, but I'll tell you what, man. The New Hampshire Rocket here. Caden Berry, this is incredible. I mean, I said he's figured out the sprint cars, the late models, but now it seems like everybody better watch out. He's almost figured out these 358 modifieds, and we'll see here. Is he up in the booth? Yeah, he is. As we'll get a word here with Caden. Caden, Shaggy up here in the booth, man. You got a copy?
Yeah, I gotcha.
Well, I'll tell you what, man. Let's just address the issue here. This is the night of what could have been. I mean, what happened in qualifying? Because I call you the New Hampshire Rocket for a reason, man. You flew through the field, but what bit you in qualifying? What seemed to be the issue?
I don't know. I mean, I'm not much of a the greatest qualifier, but we try the best we can in qualifying. I just missed the line. I mean, I tried one more lap after, my second lap. I hit a 14.513, which would actually put me up, I think, in 8th or something like that. So it wouldn't have been too bad. It would have set me up for like 3rd in one of the heats. I knew that part, but I don't know exactly where it would have put me, but it would have put me a lot better. But no, I mean, we found the line at the lap after, unfortunately. I mean, we were still in the 14.5s, but we could have, done a lot better if we just got those, couple tenths there. So, but no, it is what it is. I mean, we made it work, starting 13th. I knew it was going to be, be pretty tough, where we were starting. I know with the 358s, it can be, kind of hard to pass. I mean, with how underpowered they are, but, I feel really good, to make it work, from, where I started in 13th and make it all the way up to 3rd and, get plus 10 spots. So
yeah, now,
feels really good.
I don't want to amplify this and make it more than it is, but, with them adding dust here and you running a car in real life, just maybe being a little more comfortable to being around people, listening to the sounds, not always necessarily, being able to see that well in dirt racing. Do you think that helps you? I mean, it seems like tonight, guys maybe not as aggressive as normal, leaving space when they normally wouldn't and just, backing up corners, whereas you can kind of drive to what you always have, man. You're in that comfort zone.
Yeah, no, for sure. I think with them adding dust, I feel like with people that don't race in real life, I mean they're obviously not really used to that being behind the wheel. Having the dust fly in your face. I mean, very small on visibility. So I feel like with real race car drivers, I think it actually becomes a more of an advantage with people that don't run in real life because. I mean, you're used to it. Your surroundings. You're hearing. You know where you're at on the on the speedway. So like I said, I think it's just more of an advantage over people that don't really run in real life because, like I said, I mean, they don't really have the dust going at your face. I mean, with a real driver, being a real driver, you're used to that, so you know where you're at on the track and know what you can do and can't not do.
Well, hey, Caden, normally not a podium in this thing, but you started the night off real well here. You think we got a 3-for-3 shot?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, if we can, have a better qualifying in the late models, I think, like we did last week at Lanier, I think I'll put myself up pretty good for, another top 3. And I know in the sprint car, I got a lot more confidence in those. So I feel like, I think we could definitely go 3-for-3. Just, hope to have a good, late model qualifying tonight.
Well, hey, man, great run. We'll be rooting for you here in the late models. But before we kick you out of here, you know the deal, kid. Who you want to thank?
Yeah, first and foremost, I got to give all glory to God. Got to thank my mom and dad, my nana and grandpa, my grandmother Cece, my Grammy Ryder, TJ, Tim and Kevin, my sponsors, Granite State Blacktoppers, Juice Powder Coating, CRC, ZMAX, Driven to Save Lives, Victory Fuel, Terminal Graphics, Ryder Family Sawmill, John Bear's Legacy Racing, Alpha Cars, Caden Berry Motorsports, and Derek's Action Shots. And gotta thank you guys for putting on an awesome league.
Well, hey, great run, man. Hopefully that rocket still got some fuse left on it here for the last 2. Good luck, kid.
Yeah, thank you.
Caden Berry bringing home P3, and now we're going to bring up Big Papa here, Michael Carter. Michael, man, you were licking your lips there when the boy and Isaac were going at it, but you weren't able to get it done. But, man, you made it interesting almost tonight.
Yeah, I was trying to get it done there, man. It just, once we start throwing sliders, I see them getting back close to us. I just kind of fell in line. I didn't want to cost either of us a win, so I'd rather see one of us win than either of us. So, yeah, good job to Braden. Good racing with Isaac. I think Caden was coming on there at the end, but yeah, good racing with them guys. It's fun as usual, and yeah, man, I'll get one of these one day in these mods.
Yeah, man, Caden he was coming on at the end there, and that's what I was going to ask you. Did you ever think about going down and running that bottom? Because, man, oh, man, it picked up some speed those last couple laps.
I found something on the bottom there with 2 to go, but it was too late in 1 and 2, and I wasn't really going to try it in 3 and 4 because I'd probably block my slider anyways. But yeah, I was happy with the run, man. I finally got to finish one of these races in top 3. It's been a while, so yeah, just happy that team got the win, and yeah, congrats to Braden.
Yeah, man. So you're at the Dome last week. How was that, brother?
Oh, it's definitely a bucket list thing to do, man. It was one of the best experiences I've ever had in dirt track racing. It's just the atmosphere is crazy. The people there is crazy. Everybody's tuned in and hollering, screaming. It's a really good time, man. The views there are good. That's all I could say, and it's a blast.
Well, hey, man. Hey, we're glad to have you back here on Friday Night Lights. Great run, man. Way to start off with a P2. Who you want to thank before I kick you out of here?
I got to thank Dirt Track Bank, Friday Night Lights, everything you do here at Shaggy TV. Really appreciate y'all. Joe, he's under the weather. Missing you, Joe. Hope you feel better. Got to thank my dad, Randy Carter Painting. He's watching. Hey, Pop. CSC Motorsports, Kale Smith. Kale's watching. He had something to do tonight. He couldn't make it with his family Christmas deal. Braden Carter, Kyle Hardy. Kyle's at Florida right now racing for 100K. Good luck to him. Kyle Hardy Racing, Twisted Designs, Midwest Forklifts, Landon Smith. Yeah, my mom's watching. Kale's family's watching. Whoever's watching, really appreciate y'all tuning in. Thank you.
What's Kyle? What's he racing on? Flow, Dirt Vision. What's it going to be on?
It's not on. I'm not sure what it's on. I didn't tune in. I've been keeping on my race pass, so it's not on Flow. But it's the XR. It's probably on XR events. It's 100K to win a crate race this weekend at All Tech. All right, so he did qualify second in his group, so I think he's starting 4th in the heat. So good luck to him.
All right, I'll have to do some hunting. Well, hey, great run, Mike, and I look forward to talking to you again here, brother.
Thanks, buddy. Appreciate it.
Now we welcome up to Vitali Motorsports Victory Lane. Okay, there we go. I thought I dragged you, but it took you a while to show up here. We got Scrappy up here. Braden, man, it just seemed like, Isaac makes one mistake there on the restart. You get a good run off of 2, and that's all you needed. It was curtains.
Yeah, I knew I had to get a good restart, man. If we didn't have a few restarts before that, I don't think that would have happened, but I got to where the point I could time it almost perfect, and I had this line working on a restart, and it gave me enough momentum just to slide him, and I mean that's really what got it done, man. Just to slide him in 3 and 4 and get away from him from that point on.
Yeah, so I mean, is that kind of just able, like you said, just to measure him up on those restarts? That was the big difference there. Without that, do you think it would have been too hard to pass?
Yeah, it's pretty hard to pass unless you have really good momentum, and that restart, like I said, really helped me. If you get a good restart on a track like this, it's pretty much money from there. You know, it's hard to say what would happen if that had happened, but good race to them. Good race to my dad as well. Good finish to Caden.
Yeah, man, coulda, woulda, shoulda. You got what you needed. You got to the front. You got it done. But I asked your pops this, man. How was the dome last week?
Well, it was pretty cool, man. Like you said, different experience. Indoor racing got me kind of sick, but it comes with it. I got that check as well. Took a little bit of money home. Pretty happy about that.
Yeah, man. Congratulations. I saw that quick time on the sim.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Yeah, it was just surreal, man. I hope we get to race it one year in the future, and that'd be such a cool event to run. Everyone's there. The drivers are cool. I mean, it was a ton of fun, man. Ton of fun.
Well, hey, Braden, great run here in the Gears Unlimited 358 Modifieds. Congratulations on the win. Who you want to thank, kid?
Yeah, I got to thank CSC Motorsports, my dad, Cale Smith, Kyle Hardy. Good luck to him at Alltech. Midwest Forklifts LLC, Landon Smith, Randy Carter Paint, my granddad, Twisted Designs for the wrap, Turtle Racing, Tanner Pettit Racing, Pro Series sponsor, made Pro Series and sprint cars this week. Pretty hyped about that. Dirt Track Bank, Friday Night Lights, you Shaggy for putting these broadcasts on. Yeah, everyone around this deal.
Well, hey, great run, man, and hopefully this isn't the only time I talk to you tonight, kid.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
That's Braden Carter, your Gears Unlimited 358 Modified winner. And with that, here, we're going to take a quick break here. Get ready for part 2 of 3. Got some pro late models coming up at the Lucas Oil Speedway. So stick around here for your Gears Unlimited Dirt Track Bank Friday Night Lights. Late models. I'm Zach Chapman with Shaggy TV. Stick around. We'll be right back.
My name's Nick Powers, and I'm the president and lead instructor of Warfighter Scuba. I'm a veteran of the United States Marine Corps from the years 2003 to 2007, with 1 combat deployment to Haditha, Iraq in 2006. Throughout my time overseas, I experienced a lot of situations that you wouldn't necessarily find yourself in the United States. IEDs, getting shot at, rocket attacks, mortar attacks, you name it, it happened. When I got out of the Marine Corps in 2007, I tried to adjust back to civilian life, and the whole time you're in, you just can't wait to get out. And when you get out, you start to realize, did you make the right decision? 9 times out of 10, most of the guys that get out, they immediately plummet into a depression cycle because you don't have that structure anymore that the military provides you. And this hit me super hard. We moved to one of the #1 top dive destinations in the entire world, and I figured I'd start getting back into scuba diving. And after our first couple dives, I realized how peaceful it was underwater and how none of my problems followed me. You're just there in the present moment. I had the idea for Warfighter Scuba, and I kind of hinted at it, and they said, "You go for it." And that's basically how Warfighter Scuba was born. So Warfighter Scuba is a nonprofit. We're a 501c3 nonprofit with the IRS. We bring combat wounded veterans down to the Caribbean to teach them scuba diving to treat their wounds. Whether their wounds are physical or mental, such as PTSD, scuba diving is a extremely therapeutic activity for mental stressors and for physical ailments. Mentally, as soon as you go underwater, your body just reacts. It's not normal. You're not meant to breathe underwater. Automatically puts you into the present moment. You have nothing but peace and calm. This ability to separate yourself from reality really allows veterans to find out what their trigger mechanism might be for their particular mental stressors. So every veteran who comes through our programs gets a 100% funded trip. Each veteran also receives a round-trip ticket from their home of record. That ticket will bring them straight into Roatan, and their entire week stay, their hotel, their meals, their snacks, everything's paid for. And so that veteran can get an entire week away from reality and completely separate from any kind of problems they might be facing at home. So each veteran receives very private and intimate training sessions when they come down to Roatan. You know, we first start in the pool, we do some confined water skills, we'll then switch out to the open water dives. From that point on, it's not even training anymore, it's just fun. It's learning on a level that I don't think most people have experienced before. We do all the certifications for them that we can in a week at their pace, you know, from open water to full face mask to nitrox. Every trip that we have, whether it's one veteran or 4 veterans at a time, we just have a blast. You know, there's no bad karma. We've seen sharks, we've seen turtles. I mean, we've seen 4 eagle rays at once. I mean, just the things that happen when we're in the water together are truly, they're just unbelievable. The dedication that these vets have now to scuba diving and to wanting to come back and to help other veterans experience what they've experienced, it hits me in the heart more than most things have ever hit me in my heart. It's truly an honor to take, you know, these heroes into the water. It's really cool to see the transformation that happens to them, you know, from being, oh my gosh, you know, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do this. You know, I've gone snorkeling a few times, or, you know, I'm not that good of a swimmer. And the funny thing about scuba is none of that matters. You know, you're completely weightless in the water. You could come down and have 0 experience in the water and be one of the better scuba divers out there. So as with all nonprofits, we rely solely on generous donors such as yourselves. None of these programs could exist without people who are willing to give some of their hard-earned money up to save veterans who might be struggling with everyday life and have that unfortunate thought of suicide. 100% of every dollar that's donated goes directly to the veterans. I personally, myself, I do not take any kind of money. All my time is donated. There's no salary to anybody who's on the board or any staff positions in Warfighter. Donations can be made on our website at www.warfighterscuba.org. And remember, every donation is 100% tax deductible.
We're back live for the Dirt Track Bank Friday Night Lights. Part 2 of 3 here with the... I want to say this right, so Shaggy's going to cheat here and bring up my little cheat sheet. Alright, I would have said it wrong, if I'm going to be honest. With the Midwest Forklifts LLC Pro Late models. Here, and well, that's why you have fail safes, you know, things like that, so I can get it right. We got, oh yeah, heck yeah, faith-based motorsport. Look at that, the New Hampshire Rocket catching on. I'm telling you, I knew that would be a catchy one. I mean, the kid, he burns it down, you know. The rocket going around the outside of that racetrack. Love it when that stuff catches on. We got Randy Carter. You had the family finish 1-2 tonight. You got to be happy out there. You're exactly right. They didn't miss one beat. Got right back to the 1-2 there on the podium. Good for them here. Right now, we only have 17 cars in this room, so not too sure here we're going to get some more guys, if that's going to be it, or 15 with times in. 2 guys that haven't put any times in. We got Jesse Ingram rolling around in that 777 there. They're beating up the racetrack a little bit. Let's see here. Mark Gilbert trying to work around. Top on the nose here, that's 17. Oh, we got Maggie in a heart. Look at that. Good spot there. We get Maggie on that thing. I assume that's his Maggie. I mean, I'm trying to look at it upside down, turning my head. I'm thinking that's his Maggie there. You guys get a better view of it than me here. Got Anthony Marvolio getting ready to pull that pink machine out here in the 238. Anthony Marvolio was a heat race winner here in the 358s. Yeah, Justin, I'm rooting for you guys. Put on a show here. Personally like a little smaller car count here. With hopefully looking for some good clean racing. Kind of surprised he may be having a little cool down. Kind of surprised we didn't see DJ out here. DJ, after getting involved earlier, maybe just needs a little breather here this Friday. Calm down a little bit here. Come at it again next week. There's plenty of racing left here throughout the season. I don't know who I'm going to put my money on here. You got to think, I mean, early on, you'd almost be stupid here not to go to the betting booth and put your money on the New Hampshire Rocket here. Caden Berry did very well last week. I mean, had the track figured out in the 358s. And I just think, you know, a lot of that's going to carry over. So you got to think he's the early favorite with a lot of racing left here. Let's see. We have Caden and Michael Carter out here rolling around. Their own lobby. We got Donald Ingram out there as well. Let's see here. Do we have anyone? Nope. Dino was in that other room. John Hahn, I don't see him sitting on pit road. He could be gone. Maybe not in the room here with us. John Hahn, a teammate of mine at Gambler Motorsports. See the two adjusting sick. Got a good view of that thing sitting there. There's big crew guys shooting the you-know-what. They're just having a good time. I think that may be something iRacing added, and it may be only, active to car drivers that are sitting in pit road, because we don't see any other pit crews moving. Okay, I'm sorry, but we gotta experiment. Okay, so when we changed to Mark Gilbert, actually, it made John Hines' pit crew stop. No, I'm really invested in this. Back to Justin Sick. Okay, now all of a sudden his pit crews start moving. Okay, so whose ever pit crew you have activated, that's newer. Their pit crew jokes around. Okay. If that's what you're into, sure. I mean, maybe, fix some other things first, do some other things, but hey, man, I dig it. As the Ant-Man Anthony Morano rolls into 3 and 4. Just looking for these last couple warm-ups laps here before we get ready to roll in. And Derek, that is, if there's any way you could get into this lobby, if you tell that to Brandon Templeton. Oh no, Brandon Templeton isn't in that race. Well, that's actually such a great question here, Derek. Because do we even have an admin in there right now to advance the session? Because I was not given admin tonight. So that actually could become a problem. I can pay attention here. Actually, hang on. I'm gonna mute the sounds here. I see Dino waiting in the waiting room. Hang on. Okay, so my apologies for the no iRacing sounds. I'm not going to unmute them yet because I still have people going to come up and talk to me here. But we're running into a little bit of an issue here. I think in the fury of Joe not feeling well, like I was telling you earlier, I don't have to do the admin stuff. I wasn't given admin. Well, problem with this is we don't have an admin right now. And you're seeing that 17-minute timer. What that would mean is unless we get an admin here, we are going to go for 17 minutes. So as of now, go get a drink. Go pop the popcorn. Go just, maybe grab a nice beverage. I don't know what you're into. But just know that it doesn't seem like we're going to be grooving this thing any real time soon here. So Shaggy's just going to look around here, going to keep trying to message people. Here trying to do some hunting because we definitely don't want to wait for all these sessions. So if you hear me typing away, I know that's not very professional. Sorry, not often we have to hunt down an admin here. Okay, let's see here. We're getting messages back, but of course, getting messages, but they're not. They don't have anything to do with the current admin situation. So, like I say, if you're out there watching, thank you so much for tuning in here. We absolutely love having you guys here for the Dirt Track Bank Friday Night Lights. We will be bringing you part 2 here in the late models for sure. But right now, we're just waiting on an admin, and so far, Doesn't look like we've got one on the way just yet. Haven't gotten an update from my man Dino. Guess I could just come down here and wait for them so he could just join in at any moment and tell me what's going on. But you know what? We'll unmute the audio here. Give you the car sounds back, like I say. My apologies, but nothing Shaggy can do about this here. We're all along for the ride tonight. We don't want to message Joe. I don't think he's not feeling too well. So got other guys on it here trying to get it to work out. But yeah, this could be a this could be a long night here. Boy, oh boy. Let's watch the dust kick up here at the end of the backstretch for a little bit. We'll just park it here just for a while. Shaggy's probably gonna mute myself here and try to do a little bit of hunting. Oh, hey Tyler, what's up, man? You tuned in at probably the most boring time in the world. This session, we're waiting for an admin to show up. The normal host of this league is sick. Normally we wouldn't be just waiting dilly-dallying around here during practice, but it seems like we're going to have to wait for this whole 12 minutes to roll out. Unless Clay Christopherson, when he gets in here, has admin privileges, but I don't have a good feeling about that. But yeah, man, the 358 modified race before this, that was really good. If you rewind, stick around, these late models are going to be good. And then, well, let's see here, that number 1-2, man, that 12, Caden Berry, keep an eye on that kid. He runs a sprint car in real life, and when we get to these sprint cars last, sometimes he wins by a couple seconds. We may have to put a bounty out on that kid here before the end of the season. The real deal there, that Caden Berry. This is giving Randy Shreves time to join in, I think, here. Yeah, he's going to be... No, he's not in his own room, just nobody's on the racetrack right now. Scrappy's pulling off here. Braden Carter in the 5. Haven't gotten word back from anyone just yet here, so like I say, expect this thing to be a snooze fest here for the next 10 minutes. But we thank you for tuning in, and we'll get ready to roll into qualifying just after that. Any other guys in Discord? Hey, Dino, you're going out over the broadcast. What do we have to tell the world?
No, we're still no luck. Clay doesn't have admin access, and I did the same as you. I messaged Joe and Brandon to see if somebody can come in and just appoint us admin, and then we're gonna need somebody to go into the sprint car one and edit that to add some admins. So hopefully somebody will get back to us so we can, at least we might have to roll this one out, but with the sprint cars, we're gonna be in the same boat. So hopefully one of them gets their messages. But I get it, it's Friday night. So, we just gotta hope for the best, Shaggy.
Yeah, man, roll with the punches.
Have you been singing and dancing for the people, or what?
Oh, heck no, dude. I actually got a local friend here I've been chatting with the last couple minutes. But Dude, how'd you like the racetrack there in the 358s? All the dirt. It seemed like the track was pretty bumpy there in 1 and 2 especially.
Yeah, that was what was messing me up a little bit. If you didn't get into one just right, you hit that bump and then your car pushes, and that was happening to me a lot. But now that I've run a few races since the update, I've noticed that this dust seems to be afternoon shows only, and when the track gets burned off. Because if you notice, there was no dust on straightaways, but then in the corners where it was burned off, you saw the dust come up even under caution. I ran a couple races this week. I ran Knoxville 360 Nationals, and all that was at night, and there was no dust whatsoever. And I ran another race this week, a money race at Kokomo for 358s. That was at night, and there was no dust. So I'm thinking between coast to coast with their afternoon shows this week and now this one, it looks like it's going to be an afternoon thing. So that's going to be something we're going to have to get used to.
Yeah, I wonder what that is, if they're trying to say that at night, it draws the moisture back out. We're not getting the smoke.
I think that's what they're doing. Yeah, I do. I think, because when the sun goes down, your tracks don't get as dusty because moisture does come back up, or the dew is coming down from the air, and it makes the tracks a little bit. So I think that's what they're doing. I mean, their next patch is going to have to be a fix, because I think it looks a little weird that we're under caution doing 30 miles an hour and there's dust flying up off the pace truck at us. That looks a little weird, so I think that's a little bit too much. But I get it. It's afternoon stuff, so that's what they're trying to do. But now for broadcasts and such, usually you like afternoon so you can see the colors of the cars, see the sponsors, but not if they're in a dust cloud. So you might have to go back to broadcast races, doing them all at night.
Yeah, just another loop there. But have you noticed anything to the fix? Since the update, I did that one race with Coast to Coast on Tuesday. I didn't notice too much of a difference, but have you noticed, does the track take rubber any better than it used to?
The difference is the track wears differently, and you can't see the cushion. The cushion usually builds up, and these late models have been out here for a long time, and there's no dark clay or dirt on the outside of the track. And I've noticed that. So that's the only thing that I've seen be a little bit different. But they really seem to make the middle and the bottom of the track stay longer. Because that race there, the cars were all over the place in that 358s. I thought that was kind of fun, and I was running 3 different lanes. I ran top, middle, bottom, and I was the same speed all the time. So I did like that. So, that's kind of unique. So, it's the same. They're trying to do tweaks to make it better. And, of course, they always come out with patches after updates to try to help that. But, I think so far, so good.
Well, I'm going to run back up here to the booth because the sad reality of this is if we don't get admins and we have to wait here all night, Shaggy's going to go use that bathroom right now because I'm not going to make it.
I already did. So, we got, 6 minutes left, and then we'll get racing, and I'll be an admin without being an admin to let the guys know we can't clear any blacks, and be careful going in and out of the pits and such.
Yeah. So, dude, that's another one for the fans. I guess, I'd tell those guys, no lane choice for leaders tonight. Because if they get a black, there's nothing we can do.
Yep, no, good point. I would have never even thought of that.
All right, well, good luck here, Dino.
All right, Shaggy. Maybe we'll talk to you. Who knows?
All right, man, I'm rooting for you.
Thank you.
All right, like I said here, I got to go run and use the bathroom. All right, let's see, oh, sorry, Jarrett. I had another screen up. I should be able. You'd think, I'm in my mid-30s here. I should be. Technology sound good enough here, but I believe if you go on Facebook, I would just do it that way. If you go on Facebook, search Dirt Track Bank Friday Night Lights, you'll see it there. Just reach out, message Joe. Actually, one of the account people not doing it. I'll get the message, but I'll ignore it and I'll let Joe answer it. Well, as Shaggy tries to cough or choke to death here, Joe will answer that in a pretty timely manner. He's sick here. Like I say, that's why I'm calling the show again here this week. So he should be back next Friday, and I'll probably maybe sit in with him. I've been doing that before. We'll see how that goes, if he wants me to or not. Like I say, now Shaggy is actually, I'm down to 4 minutes, so I've got to go hustle. I'm going to use the bathroom here. I'll be right back. Alrighty, I'm back. Sorry about that, but with the no admins tonight, I knew I was going to end up having to go to the bathroom, so I'm going to try to do it in between these races, but this extra 20 minutes here of practice, tell you what, it didn't do this track any favors here. It is going to be a long night here for these guys. Going to have to really be smooth here in qualifying. I mean, that's when you're going to see the damage done. If you're driving a little too aggressive, you kick that rear end sideways, that could be bad news. But right now we see the 5 here. Scrappy dude, Braden Carter, blinking a little bit. Not something we see out of that 5 a lot. There he goes his back. Just a little hop, skip, and a jump here every now and then. You don't want that to happen to you during qualifying either. Or, you know, that can make your lap not count. The New Hampshire Rocket here in the 1-2, Caden Berry. Still ripping the track. I look for him to be up towards the top during qualifying. He's been hammering in laps, and only 5 seconds left here in practice. I'll have a pretty good idea of what the track feels like as we see the checkered flag wave and warm-up session come to an end here in the forklift. Oh my gosh. You'd think I would have remembered that. I just said it not but 10 minutes ago here, but the Midwest Forklifts LLC's Pro late models here. Let's see who pulls out on the racetrack first. It's looking like we've got the 47 of Austin Tremblay. So the kind of time he puts in as he rolls the middle here through 3 and 4. I normally like going up top a little bit there, making it a little more straighter drive off. You get a little more speed coming to the line, but he's not too worried about it here early on. He's not too sure here why on my end. You guys get to see the qualifying times there as Anthony Morano puts in quick time. Mine is not coming up, so we are going to try to get me to work here. As Clay Christopherson comes home P2. Let's see here. Can the Ant-Man get faster here on a second time around? No, yellow, yellow. That's a no-go. Richard Swavely in the 032 comes around here. He gets close to that outside wall. He picks up time, flirting with death, moves up into the top 5, does the 032. Still a lot of guys to go yet. One of them being the 7 here, the Flow Racing Machine of Jace Baddeker. Rolls the bottom through 3 and 4 here, lap number 1. Where does he go? Jace parking at P12. He's going to need to look for a little more speed. Anthony Marvulio, meanwhile, purple through Sector 1. What can he do through Sector 2? Tightened up on him in the middle of the corner. He's slower. Anthony Marvulio with a top 5. As look at Scrappy Doo. Purple Sector 1, what does he do? He floats up. Good run off the corner. Scrappy Doo. Quick time for the 05, Braden Carter. Can he go quicker this second time around here? He does through Sector 1, purple. Michael Carter, Big Papa there, purple through Sector 2. Braden Carter brings it home. And he does get a little quicker the second time around, a 14:71. As there are 3 guys, Mark Gilbert, Justin Sick, John Hine, have not put in a time. Not sure if they're even still in the session. But Braden Carter, Anthony Morano, Michael Carter, Jesse Ingram, and Austin Tremblay. Your top 5 here in qualifying. And, well, you know, we talked about this before, but with no admin here, elapsed time. Okay, you can see it real small there. 15 seconds left, so not going to have to wait too long here, and we'll get ready to roll into heat race number 1. Let's see here, so 18, 19, 20 guys, so we may have two heat races of just 10, I would think. But we'll see here. Been wrong plenty of times. Ask my wife. Starting on the outside of row number 5 in that 17, we do have Mark Gilbert into his inside in the 41, Derek Patetti. Outside of row number 4 in the 85, that's Nick Berry into his inside in the 1, Hunter McDougal. Outside of row number 3 in the 56, that's Randy Shreves. And his inside in the 032, Richard Swavely. Putt-putt, Clay Christopherson takes that 51 and lines up on the outside of row number 2. Into his inside, the 47 machine of Austin Tremblay. Row number 1 to the outside in the 1-5. You got Big Papa Michael Carter. And to the inside, you got the little Carter here, Scrappy Doo, Braden in the 05. As we get ready to go play here at Lucas Oil Speedway. 8 laps to get it done here as we try to refresh and overlay. We're going to go around both times for every heat race here, I would imagine, this evening, because as we've mentioned many a time here, no admins. Shaggy's going to have to refresh his overlay. My apologies. Close down. We'll get ready for 8 laps at the Lucas Oil Speedway. As the Pace truck's off. We roll through 3 and 4. The green flag is high. It's ready to fly. Scrappy drops the hammer, and we're going to go play for 8 laps. Battle won already. Derek shut the door there on the 47 or in the 17 of Mark Gilbert. Mark Gilbert there. That's no, that is the 41 of Derek Patetti. Actually, Mark Gilbert not making the grid. I was going to say a little confused there as the Carters try to check out, walk away. You got Clay Christopherson to the outside of Randy Shrees. They make contact, ends into 3. Clay pinches him off. You don't want to leave him too much room to float up and carry momentum. Clay does a good job of holding him down there, takes that 4th and final transfer spot. Everybody should make the show, though, tonight, so not sure if the B main will even be necessary, if we'll run it. If it'll maybe just set the grid for the feature, if we'll skip it entirely. You see that 1-5 trying to run down the young buck there in front of him, Scrappy Doo. He had to follow him into 358 mods, finished P2. He definitely doesn't want to let the kid win 2 of them, and cross flags in the air halfway home. Clay Christopherson trying to work that inside now, dives under the 47 of Austin Tremblay as they're side by side on their way into 3. Clay gets a good run middle off there, has that nose set, drops the throttle and moves on up, slides up. New guy in town there into P3. We got the 51 of Putt-Putt. Clay, though, as he rolls out of 4, he sees those 2 fingers in the air, pretty much knows he's out of time. He's not going to be able to run down the Carter boys up front. Going to have to play defense here just to try to hold on to 3rd. As Braden Carter rolls through 3 and 4, we see that white flag in the air, 1 more trip around. Braden, oh so smooth, looking for back-to-back wins here, and this is a way to start it. Going to start on the pole for tonight's feature here at Lucas Oil Speedway. Michael Carter going to roll right behind him. Clay Christopherson, Austin Tremblay, Randy Shrees, Richard Swavely, Hunter McDougal, Nick Berry, and Derek Patetti. Actually, that should be the inside starting row for the feature. I don't think, like I say, we're going to need a B main. So with 2 heats, this is going to set the inside. And this should set the outside here as we get ready for heat race number 2. Row number 5, I don't believe we have Justin Sick or John Hine, so we'll basically skip them. And to the outside of row number 4 in the 7, that's Jace Baddeker. And his inside in the 43, Andrew Harley. Donald Ingram takes that number 10 and lines up to the outside of row number 3. And to his inside in the 79, my man Dean Reynolds. Anthony Marvulio lines up on the outside of row number 2 in the 238, and his inside in the 1-2, the New Hampshire Rocket, Kate Berry. Row number 1 here for heat race number 2, starting on the outside in that lucky number 777. You got Jesse Ingram into the inside in the 32, the Magic Ant-Man, Anthony Morano. Let's see here. Some people say, Shaggy, Magic Ant-Man? Oh, he doesn't have it on the back of this one. Okay. It says it on the back of his 358 modified. I swear it does. Anthony Morano's. That's where the nickname comes from. I can't even think of that one. I can think of some crazy stuff. Not anything like that. We got Rhonda Ryder out there rooting on Roxanne Jones, Timothy Eldridge, Randy Carter, Faith-Based Motorsports. Thank you for tuning in here as the green flag is high. It's ready to fly. Heat race number 2 is underway. The Ant-Man drops the hammer, and it's time to go play. I told you, watch out for the New Hampshire Rocket. He may not be the best qualifier, but the damn kid knows how to race. Sorry for the cussing, my apologies, but boy, oh boy, the kid lit the fuse. How long of a fuse does that rocket have? How long can it go? The Ant-Man's going to have to be perfect here. Caden to the inside, searching for that grip. Doing what Anthony normally does oh so well, but Anthony running that middle line, feeling more comfortable right now in the middle of the racetrack here at Lucas Oil. Dean Reynolds here trying to hold off on 4th, but Anthony Marvulio taking that 238 downstairs. He's trying to find a run as Donald Ingram makes a little mistake. Donald Ingram falls back to 8th here, started 6th. Needs to get into a rhythm here. If he wants to earn any of those spots back, he's running out of time. Meanwhile, Caden Berry just trying to go where Anthony's not. Finding grip downstairs. Will it pay off? Coming to 3 to go here, this time by at the line. He's right there on the 32. That is not the button Shaggy wanted to click. This is as we go on the nose here. He tightens up on entry. He's got to wind her down, get her kicked sideways. And, man, just like that, Caden Berry, one hiccup, loses all that ground he gained. Got to go back to work here. Put your head down. You got 1.5 more trips left. White flag in the air this time by. Final time for Anthony Morano. Not going to be easy here, though. He's got an inside full of the 12 of Caden Berry. Does he shut the door the final time through 3 and 4? No, he holds the middle. He floats up. He sees the checkered flag waving, and he takes heat race number 2, followed by Caden Berry, Jesse Ingram, Dean Reynolds, Andrew Harley, Anthony Marv, Julio, Jace Bataker, and Donald Ingram. See here, we will skip the B main. We'll jump straight into warm-up. Shaggy's going to throw himself on mute. Enjoy some views of the track here, and we'll get ready for tonight's Pro Late Model feature event here in about 3 minutes. Stick around. Little over a minute left here in warm-ups for the Midwest Forklifts LLC Pro Late Models. Let us know who you're rooting for if you're out there watching. Who you got in this race? You know, I understand you guys out there, you're committed to your drivers, but I'll tell you what, that doesn't mean you think they're going to win this time out here. Don't feel like you're stabbing your driver in the back. Let us know who you got here, who you think is going to take this one home. I'm thinking it's going to be this 12 here. I mean, a long way to go. Starting P4, should be okay, or no, I guess P6 there, third. It's going to be an outside shot, but I am going to take the rocket here. I think he'll be able to get it done. I think he's going to be relentless, but that 5, he's not going to go away too easy either. Scrappy's going to start right up front. He's going to be looking to go 2 for 2 here this evening. Not going to be easy to dethrone the 05 here, and 30 laps to go here, or a little over 30 seconds to go here. Lucas Oil Speedway in our warm-up session. I'm with you, Tim. When you find a pay window that'll let us do that here, you let me know. I'll match it. You just double up what you were going to put in there. We'll go halves on it. That's my feeling as well here. The checkered flag gets ready to wave. Warm-ups come to a close, and we get ready for our Pro Late Model feature here. Should be a good one. So let's bring up our starting grid here whenever iRacing will give it to us here. There we go. All right, so we're going to ignore row 10. They're not here. Outside of row number 9, I don't think Justin Sick is here either, but he is inside that 41 of Derek Patetti. He is. He's going to start 17th. Outside of row number 8 and that 10, Donald Ingram. And to his inside in the 85, Nick Berry. Jace Baddiger, or excuse me. Yeah, Jace Baddiger takes that 7 machine and lines up on the top or outside of row number 7 into his inside, the 1 of Hunter McDougal. Anthony Marvulio lines up to the outside of row number 6 into his inside in the 032, Richard Swavely. The 43 of Andrew Harley takes the outside of row number 5 into his inside in the 56, Randy Shreves. Dean Reynolds lines up on the outside of row number 4 in the 79 and is inside the 47 of Austin Tremblay. The lucky number 777 lines up on the outside of row number 3, that's Jesse Ingram, and is inside, we've got Putt-Putt, Clay Christopherson. The New Hampshire Rocket lines up on the outside of row number 2, that's the 12 of Caden Berry, and is inside in the 15, Big Papa Michael Carter. Row number 1 for tonight's Midwest Forklifts LLC Pro Late Model Feature event. To the outside, the Magic Ant-Man in the 32, Anthony Morano. And starting on the pole in the 05, Scrappy-Doo, Braden Carter. As the pace truck pulls off, the drivers reach up, pull those belts down tight one more time. We roll through 3 and 4. Scrappy gets ready to drop the hammer, and we go play in the clay for 30 laps at Lucas Oil Speedway. We're underway. Good jump there by Michael Carter. He pounces to the inside, but Anthony with a good run down the backstretch. They may have touched a little bit. Michael sends it in deep, looking to park it on the 32. He's able to shut the door. Carter 1-2, but caution is out. We're going to go back to the previous lap here. Hunter McDougal involved in our first accident of the evening. Hunter McDougal in that 1 machine. Let's keep an eye on him. He's there to the inside. He's under the 7 of Jace Baddiger right now. Drives it in, and well, sometimes those tires come out of nowhere, and sometimes they've been there all night. I'm not going to judge him. You know, everybody has their opinion. Sometimes, they just sneak out of nowhere, and I'm with him. I don't think I noticed that one there all night. I think someone put that one there last minute warm-ups, and, I feel for you there, Hunter. That wasn't very cool. And, sometimes it can make us look like dummies. May have been what just happened there. Those darn iRacing track officials. We roll around trying to beat up the outside of the racetrack a little bit here. As Dino said, you can see the drivers rolling through. You don't really get that cushion to develop. So, a little different than what we're used to here. What we've been used to seeing. Braden Carter set to bring us to the green flag. This time he'll be able to do a little countdown here if him and the 15, his dad, Michael Carter, are in the same Discord. It'll help him out. We got Joe Halter out there, I think, watching as the green flag is high. It's ready to fly. Lap number 5 at Lucas Oil. It's underway. We're ready to go play. Michael Carter with a good jump. Can he get up and shut the door? The Ant-Man with just enough momentum. Got to get close there to that 5. Can't let him go up there and park it. He looks underneath. We're 3 wide for a second. Anthony to P2. The New Hampshire Rocket all up there by himself here, watching these guys go at it, just trying to maybe get a peek to the outside here. Anthony sends it in deep. Gonna park it on the 15. Michael Carter counters back. Caden was almost there. He's ready to party too. Side by side, Anthony Morano trying to go for one more big send. Michael Carter goes down, pinches him, shuts the door, and as we come across the starter stand, Anthony Morano, they're stuck in P3. Caden looking to the inside here. He's trying to get aggressive. So is Putt-Putt in that 51. He loves putting it around the bottom, hence the nickname. He'll go low and slow. The man's a human smoker out there, and Anthony Morano normally down there as well, but right now finding comfort on the outside as he's trying to fight off that 12 of Caden Berry. Oh, we got hard racing here in the back. Hunter McDougal and the 7 of Jace Banneker touch a little bit, make a little bit of contact as yellow flag flies up in front of these guys, I'd imagine. We're seeing the 85 of Nick Berry, and I couldn't tell who else was involved in that one. Let's go see here if maybe the software helps us out at all. It may have been a car just coming to a stop. I'm only seeing Nick Berry here. Let's see what happens to the 85. Oh, he just, gets loose, drops the hammer too hard, spins out by himself, and got to park it there. Doesn't want to pull down in front of the leaders and fall. Oh, no! Man, oh, man. Andrew Harley. No, that wasn't him. Who is the 51? Do we have a 51? We do have a 51, but that's why your number needs to match your car, fellas. I can't help you out when you're not helping me out. Couldn't tell who was involved in that, but tough break there. Not too sure what took so long for the caution. But, sometimes that stuff happens and in the virtual racing world, and just like that, got to put your head down, go back to work here. And with the Carters running 1-2, that's what Anthony and Caden are going to have to do. They got to try to beat up this party up front. See if they can go up here and burn down the house a little bit. Some car's dragging something. Man, we can hear it in the background. We may have to go mess with sounds here. Got to be a car with damage. Something broke here as we're back underway. But Anthony Morano fishing back downstairs again, trying to look for P2. Just not sure if he's going to find any luck down there. The Rocket couldn't do it. I mean, Anthony's good down there, but he's only got so much magic inside of that 32. And we got Pup behind him, his teammate there. He peeked to the outside in 1 and 2. He looks back to the bottom here, 3 and 4. Anthony now, he's stuck in the middle, 3 wide. Caden Berry to the outside, Putt to the inside. Give it to Caden for now as Anthony. Man, he might lose one more. Here comes Jesse Ingram in that 777 machine. Hunter McDougal hard into that inside tire once again. And we are back under caution for the 3rd time. Believe we saw this happen to him earlier here, and we're going to see a repeat of it. Little deja vu. Going down the backstretch, may just enter in a little too early. He does. I mean, this is self-inflicted. He's just trying to go lower than... I mean, Anthony's running as low as you can go. He's just trying to go down there and find another lane, find a way by. Not one there, and just like that, wads it up. And going to have to tow that thing back to the pits here. Maybe call it a night for the 1 of Hunter McDougal. Thank you guys all for tuning in. One of the best chat boxes in racing, that's for sure. I said it earlier, say it again. I mean, you guys are the most involved fans in any iRacing league I've ever been a part of, and it's an absolute honor to be here with you guys. It's awesome. And now Kern Hard Chargers, that 10 of Donald Ingram, as the boys get ready to double up here, go play again. 10 started 6th, and there we go. We hear that dragging sound. Hear it really bad when they're under caution. So Shaggy hears that too. My apologies, it's pretty loud. But oh, Caden got a little aggressive. He almost went early. Braden goes now. We're back underway. That could have been a close one there, but Caden does a good job here not jumping the gun too early. Woes that thing down, but man, oh man, they're chomping at the bit back here in the back. All but 3 wide. We go on the nose here, the 7 of Jace Banneker. You see drivers fanning out. They all want to get back in line here going down the backstretch. They're all searching for that strip of grip right there up near the top of the wall. You don't really single it out down on the bottom. Is Jace going to send it in maybe a little too deep? Has to get on the binders. Doesn't want to get into the 238. It's Caden Berry looking to the inside here. Going to be relentless. The Rocket got to find a way around. as the Carters just doing their best here to hold on to another 1-2. Oh, Caden floats up. He gets into the Ant-Man. The Ant-Man, he's not going to forget about that one. Anthony Morano, the last thing you want to do is give him something to race for, man. He's already good, but when you get on that nerve and you rub him the wrong way, Anthony's going to turn it up to a level you haven't seen, and that's what we're going to see out of this 32. He's going to dip to the outside here, try to find a run on the outside of the 15. Can't do it for now as the 12 comes up and thinks about shutting the door. Clay Christopherson to the inside. Putt. Can he find a run? Or is it just too clogged down there in the basement? As we fan out here, get a little bit of better view, try to look over some of this dust. Braden Carter leading the way. Michael doing a good job of holding off the pack here, but how long here is they're thinking about going 3 abreast behind him? We got 3 different lines working. The Ant-Man crosses over the 12, sends it in deep. Got to get on the binders. Michael shuts the door. Anthony still beats the 12 back to the line, though, still made it work. Found another lane down there in 3 and 4, maybe by accident. He drives it in deep, and he finds it again. Good grip for the 32, but here comes putt on the outside. Full head of steam for the 51. Jace Baddicker losing touch with that 238 of Anthony Marvolio. We've seen Dean, Randy, and Anthony running, in these spots, 7th, 8th, and 9th for the last 7 or 8 laps. It's kind of been where the drivers have just stalled out. I mean, a lot of single file racing here. It's been tough to pass here early on, and you're seeing why. I mean, drivers just want that same lane, but Caden Berry getting as close as he's been here on the 15 of Michael Carter, and he's got some breathing room behind him. So if he sends it in deep, which is exactly what he does, slides back up, Big Papa gonna counter back, but boy, oh boy, it's getting interesting up here now at Lucas Oil Speedway. 8 more trips around. Here comes Putt. He got a big smile when he saw those guys racing hard. He's got the fishing rod out, reeling in the front too. 2nd and 3rd, gonna possibly be a 4-car battle here if the Ant-Man can get up here and get involved. Caden shuts the door on the 51. Putt into the outside wall, but able to cut back underneath. The Rocket maybe running out of fuel here. He's trying to fight off these FTM guys. Clay knew it was coming that time. He counters underneath. Big send as he almost gets into the 15 of Michael Carter. Caden Berry back down to the bottom. 5 more trips around the sun. Braden Carter heads off down into 3. You see the drivers pretty much single file there going into 3. They like that high side, but Anthony going to be the first person to run it in the corner here with 4 laps to go. He's got to find a way around. There goes Putt to the top 3. Clay letting the 51 eat. He's got the hammer down on the outside here at Lucas Oil Speedway. Anthony Morano jumps the cushion, and Donald Ingram gets around him. Putt to the inside. 2 laps to go for Scrappy out front as Clay Christopherson tries to find a way around Big Papa. Can they hold off a 1-2 as we go through 3 and 4? Braden Carter can see that white flag in the air. He knows he's got 1 more trip around to get it done. Braden, oh so smooth, oh so fast in that 05. Rolls through 3 and 4 for the final time. Back-to-back wins for the 05 here this evening at Lucas Oil Speedway. Big Papa bringing it home P2 for the 2nd time. Clay Christopherson rounding out the podium. The New Hampshire Rocket P4 and the Ant-Man rounding out the top 5 is Braden Carter. Man, what did he eat for breakfast? Or what did they eat for breakfast this morning in the Carter household? 1st and 2nd, 2 races in a row. Putt able to overcome a lot of adversity in that race and park it on the podium as well. So great race here by your drivers this evening. See if we can come on up to the booth here, get a word with him. It's the 51 of Clay Christopherson. We'll see here. Shaggy's in the right Discord, yes. Got Braden moving his way on up here. We'll give Clay just a little more time here. Try to do third place first here. As Putt, I may have to, it may be for interviews now. It may not just be because he likes to run the bottom. Maybe putting his way on up here to the interview. That's what we're going to tell him here. So we got Clay Christopherson up here. Clay, man, it seemed like you had your work cut out for you getting up into the top three. You getting the door slammed on you a couple times, but you fought your way through the adversity, got on the podium, man. You had a rocket ship tonight. It just seemed like you ran out of laps.
Yeah, nobody else was really running the top like I was at first, and there was a lot of drive off coming out of two. I mean, Carter in front of me would be 10 cars, but I'd have to cut down because I'd be right behind him. I mean, the drive off was insane.
Yeah, and not a lot of guys flirting with that outside in 1 and 2 especially. And talk to Dino a little bit about warm-ups. Do you think it's, really, dude, I know it is a sim game. We're on the computer, but you got to kind of have a set to throw it up there in 1 and 2, man. That bump is no joke. It really can tighten the car up.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and I had the right front on, too, so it was even more tight, but that's how I like the car. But, no, the top felt good. A couple times I would miss one, but the drive-off was so good that it didn't seem to affect it very much. I think if we had a caution the last couple laps, I might have had a shot at either second or maybe even winning it, who knows. But, no, the car felt really good. I have no complaints. Me and Caden had a hell of a race. There was a little tapping here and there, but, I mean, it's a wide track, but she was pretty black in the middle, so I understand the sliding up and stuff. So I let them know I was there as well, so we had some good racing after that.
No, you guys put on a good show, and you know the deal in dirt, man. If you don't have that, if you're not there to the door, you're not there. You got to kind of lift out sometimes, and you did a great job of doing what Dino's been saying these many interviews here. Living to race another day, and Clay, you park it on the podium. Hell of a job, man. Congratulations. Who you want to thank, brother?
You for putting this on. All the guys at FTM. I mean, Joe, I wish he was here tonight. That would have wouldn't been so late, but we're getting the show done. That was a lot better of a show than I was expecting with no admin. So hopefully the sprint cars can be the same.
Yeah, we got Joe in the chat box now, so I think maybe he read one of Dino's messages. We may have that fixed for the future.
Ooh, perfect. Okay.
We're gonna hope that. But hey, awesome. Man, Clay, good luck here in the next one, brother. I'll be rooting for you.
Thank you, sir.
Man, a little bit of deja vu here. It almost seems like I was just talking to you here on the middle step of the podium. Michael Carter, you do it again, man. Congratulations, brother.
Thanks, man. Just gotta try to beat that kid somehow, man. He's awful good, but it happens.
Yeah, and that's something I was gonna, jab you a little bit about, pick on you. These late models, I've called you in a couple different leagues. These are kind of, your bread and butter here. You're good at these. And to see the kid, I mean, let's just call it what it is, Mike. I mean, he kind of pulled away from you there a little bit at the end. Now, how much defense are you playing, to try to hold on to P2 and not as worried about running him down? Or did he just really have that good a drive tonight?
There at the end, I was just trying to hold off for a second there. Them guys were all over me, and I wanted to go to the top, but then I didn't, and I seen Clay up there. I peeked up in my mirror and seen he was really getting a good run, so I tried it that one time, and he definitely was getting a good run. There was a lot of drive up there, like you said. So, yeah, man, I don't know. Once he gets out front, I try not to pressure him. I could have did something on the restart there, but I don't know. I'd rather try to race for the win once it gets going than try to get him on a restart. Or maybe if it's somebody else, yeah, but I try to race him a little differently than I race most people. So, yeah, just That shows though. He races this thing all night, all day. You know, when you don't have school, so practice makes perfect, and that's where it's at. Because I definitely don't race like I used to. Not making any excuses, but he's definitely got more time than me.
Yeah, and you know, I mean, he's been dominating here tonight. It's been showing. He's putting on a good show. But Michael Carter, man, P2 twice with this kind of field. You know how damn good that is. So give yourself a pat on the back, brother. Great race here, man. Who you want to thank?
Good racing with Clay, and congrats to Braden. I think Cade, when me and him was racing together, so good run to them guys. I gotta thank you guys here at Friday Night Lights, Joe. You here at Shaggy TV, Randy Carter Painting, Hey Pop, CSC Motorsports, Cale Smith, Braden Carter, Kyle Hardy, Big John. Got a new addition coming, and go ahead and shout him out too. I know he's watching. Midwest Forklifts, Kyle Hardy Racing, Twisted Designs, my mom, everybody that's watching us. Really appreciate y'all tuning in.
Hey, great run, Michael. And hey, man, make it 3 for 3 tonight, brother. I know the sprint cars aren't your thing, but let's see what you got here.
Nah, I'm done. I got a friend over, so I'm calling tonight.
All right, fair enough. I had to try to coax you into it, but great having you tonight, Mike. Good job, man. Glad to have you back, brother.
All right, thank you.
2 for 2, Scrappy Doo made it look easy, man. Got out front and just let that thing dance. I mean, it looked like it felt good tonight. Talk to us about your race.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I knew if I had open air, I'd be good. I had a good feeling after the mod race. Just keep my nose clean, run my line. I feel like I would have been good. You know, it's also kind of good when you got a guy behind you telling you what line to switch to, you know. It kind of helps, you know. I mean, he tells me where to go sometimes when stuff gets faster, and that actually played a good part when the bottom came in 3 and 4.
Yeah, you know, I mean, when you go down there, you play that defense at the right time. Did he ever tell you that the top was coming in at the end, or was he going to save that one for himself?
I actually found that myself because I was peeking in my mirror, looking what was fast back there. Saw that top was rolling for the 51. I was like, I mean, I'm not too worried about it, but I tried it on the last lap. But yeah, if it came down to it, I would have gotten up there, but it really didn't.
Well, you know, I mean, you're able to withstand Father Time here. Long session with the no admin, but man, you hang in there. You qualify the fastest. You win the heat race, and you win the feature, man. 2 for 2. Can we go out here and win the 360 sprints? Can you do the impossible here and knock Caden Berry off the top step?
I'm gonna try, man. Like I said, I just made Pro Series in a sprint car. It's gonna be tough though. He's pretty good at those things. See what I can do.
Well, hey, Braden, congratulations, man. Great run, kid. Before I kick you out of here, who you want to thank?
Yeah, CSC Motorsports, my dad, Michael Carter, Cale Smith, Kyle Hardy, Cowdy Racing, Jonathan Higdon, new add to the team. That'll be announced soon. Midwest Forklifts LLC, Lynn Smith, Randy Carter Payton, my granddad, Twisted Designs for the Wrap, Eternal Racing, Pro Series sponsor, Tanner Pettit Racing. You guys for the show, you Shaggy, Joe, Dirt Track Bank, Friday Night Lights, everybody here.
Well, hey, great run, man. Congratulations. Look forward to talking to you after this 360 race, kid.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
He parks it in Randy Carter Painting Victory Lane. Once again this season, Braden Carter, man, gets it done. He was a handful tonight. Nobody could run down that kid, and they're going to have to see if they can, you know, what would be a good term here? How could I say, take the few? No, it's not all right. Yeah, I don't know. Shaggy will have to think about that, but you're going to have to go out here and try to dethrone that 12. Caden Berry, I mean, he's going to be that man on top here in the next one, and everybody's going to be trying to chase that kid. So stick around here. We got the Caden Berry Motorsports 360 sprints coming up here on Dirt Track Bank Friday Night Lights. I'm Zach Chapman with Shaggy TV, and we'll be bringing you part 3 here in a couple minutes. Stick around.
History repeats itself. History is always happening over and over again. So one of the ways to stop a theme, one of the ways to stop something from reoccurring is to first of all admit it. It didn't take long for us to quickly realize that there was power behind Mission 22, power behind its brand, power behind its message, and power behind its people that represented it.
All right, my friends, day 19 of 22, the 22-day push-up challenge. Day 19 means 418 men and women have possibly committed suicide in the last 19 days. I went and looked up my ship, the USS Rushmore. More people have killed themselves by now than ever served on our ship at one time in just 19 days.
19, 20, 21. One more. Y'all ready for the last one?
Mission 22 has become a decentralized nationwide effort to show love, to raise money, to be available for other warriors, to be able to be a point of contact, to let the warriors know, but also for warriors to let other warriors know that there is a community. You're not alone. This isn't happening in silence. You're not forgotten. We brought 4 veterans from all different parts of the United States and brought them together to hike through the state of Oregon.
May God bless you on your journey. Thank you for serving our country and for being willing to go on this walk. I'm praying you feel peace and strength with each mile.
On this hike, some folks found God, some folks remained sober, some folks lost a significant amount of weight to be able to participate. And not so much just a healing walk for us as warriors, but for us to contribute to other people's healing. This hike, we raised $12,000 for endobiogeny. Some of the folks on this hike, they're going to be volunteers for this treatment. And I couldn't be more pleased and more proud because it was difficult. We had a lot of struggles. Not everything on this hike went pretty, but we put some skin in the game. At the end of the day, we were able to raise money and we'll be able to use that money so guys can get the treatment that they need. The War at Home Monument is an example of our social impact, of our awareness, of our permanent fixture to do the work that we can't always do, to always remind us of what we've lost and what we will lose if we don't reconcile it. What we've done is taken 20 different veterans with their families' permission and used them as a silhouette to cut out of a 3,000-pound plate of steel. These warriors are placed in a V, and this is to show the size of the problem. This is to show the empty space they leave behind. And it's also to be a constant reminder of what happens when we don't listen to the stories of the warriors that fought in our name. Because it's not okay. It's not okay that everyone didn't know about veteran suicide. It's not okay that these things were a secret or left unsaid, or that it was shameful. It's not okay that it's shameful to suffer alone and suffer in silence, because if you ask for help, that you're no longer a warrior, that you're weak.
So I come back and I thought everybody else changed. So I pushed my family away. And it took a long time to really realize it because I didn't want to look internally. I got my Class A CDL and hit the road. I was on the road for about 8 years trucking. And this makes me think about how insignificant all of the major things going on are. I mean, what, 1 million years ago, that blew up. And, over time became this.
Whether it's hiking mountains or building monuments, it takes a community to heal a warrior. Warriors didn't get damaged and didn't become separated from the sunlight of the spirit on their own. It happened in the name of this nation. We can change the way we think about war, how we think about warriors, how we think about ourselves, and what we think we're going to do in the American community. We can do it now. We can do it here. And there's going to be another generation of warriors coming. We can set the tone to create a culture that grabs them up and loves them and smothers them in resources and opportunity right now.
My name's Nick Powers, and I'm the president and lead instructor of Warfighter Scuba. I'm a veteran of the United States Marine Corps from the years 2003 to 2007, with one combat deployment to Haditha, Iraq in 2006. Throughout my time overseas, I experienced a lot of situations that you wouldn't necessarily find yourself in the United States. IEDs, getting shot at, rocket attacks, mortar attacks, you name it, it happened. When I got out of the Marine Corps in 2007, I tried to adjust back to civilian life, and the whole time you're in, you just can't wait to get out. And when you get out, you start to realize, did you make the right decision? 9 times out of 10, most of the guys that get out, they immediately plummet into a depression cycle because you don't have that structure anymore that the military provides you. And this hit me super hard. We moved to one of the #1 top dive destinations in the entire world, and I figured I'd start getting back into scuba diving. And after our first couple dives, I realized how peaceful it was underwater and how none of my problems followed me. You're just there in the present moment. I had the idea for Warfighter Scuba, and I kind of hinted at it, and they said, you go for it. And that's basically how Warfighter Scuba was born. So Warfighter Scuba is a nonprofit. We're a 501c3 nonprofit with the IRS. We bring combat wounded veterans down to the Caribbean to teach them scuba diving to treat their wounds. Whether their wounds are physical or mental, such as PTSD, scuba diving is a extremely therapeutic activity for mental stressors and for physical ailments. Mentally, as soon as you go underwater, your body just reacts. It's not normal. You're not meant to breathe underwater. Automatically puts you into the present moment. You have nothing but peace and calm. This ability to separate yourself from reality really allows veterans to find out what their trigger mechanism might be for their particular mental stressors. So every veteran who comes through our programs gets a 100% funded trip. Each veteran also receives a round-trip ticket from their home of record. That ticket will bring them straight into Roatan, and their entire week stay, their hotel, their meals, their snacks, everything's paid for. So that veteran can get an entire week away from reality and completely separate from any kind of problems they might be facing at home. So each veteran receives very private and intimate training sessions when they come down to Roatan. We first start in the pool. We do some confined water skills. We'll then switch out to the open water dives. From that point on, it's not even training anymore. It's just fun. It's learning on a level that I don't think most people have experienced before. We do all the certifications for them that we can in a week at their pace, from open water to full face mask to nitrox. Every trip that we have, whether it's one veteran or 4 veterans at a time, we just have a blast. There's no bad karma. We've seen sharks, we've seen turtles. We've seen 4 eagle rays at once. Just the things that happen when we're in the water together are truly, they're just unbelievable. The dedication that these vets have now to scuba diving and to wanting to come back and to help other veterans experience what they've experienced. It hits me in the heart more than most things have ever hit me in my heart. It's truly an honor to take these heroes into the water. It's really cool to see the transformation that happens to them, from being, oh my gosh, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do this. I've gone snorkeling a few times, or I'm not that good of a swimmer. And the funny thing about scuba is none of that matters. You're completely weightless in the water. You could come down and have 0 experience in the water and be one of the better scuba divers out there. So as with all nonprofits, we rely solely on generous donors such as yourselves. None of these programs could exist without people who are willing to give some of their hard-earned money up to save veterans who might be struggling with everyday life and have that unfortunate thought of suicide. 100% of every dollar that's donated goes directly to the veterans. I personally, myself, I do not take any kind of money. All my time is donated. There's no salary. to anybody who's on the board or any staff positions in Warfighter. Donations can be made on our website at www.warfighterscuba.org. And remember, every donation is 100% tax deductible.
Repeats itself. History is always happening over and over again. So one of the ways to stop a theme, one of the ways to stop something from reoccurring is to first of all admit it. It didn't take long for us to quickly realize that there was power behind Mission 22, power behind its brand, power behind its message, and power behind its people that represented it.
All right, my friends, day 19 of 22, the 22-day push-up challenge. Day 19 means 418 men and women have possibly committed suicide in the last 19 days. I went and looked up my ship, the USS Rushmore. More people who have killed themselves by now than ever served on our ship at one time in just 19 days.
19, 20, 21. One more. Y'all ready for the last one?
Mission 22 has become a decentralized nationwide effort to show love, to raise money, to be available for other warriors, to be able to be a point of contact, to let the warriors know, but also for warriors to let other warriors know that there is a community. You're not alone. This isn't happening in silence. You're not forgotten. We brought 4 veterans from all different parts of the United States and brought them together to hike through the state of Oregon.
May God bless you on your journey. Thank you for serving our country and for being willing to go on this walk. I'm praying you feel peace and strength with each mile.
On this hike, some folks found God, some folks remained sober, some folks lost a significant amount of weight to be able to participate. And not so much just a healing walk for us as warriors, but for us to contribute to other people's healing. This hike, we raised $12,000 for endobiogeny. Some of the folks on this hike, they're going to be volunteers for this treatment. And I couldn't be more pleased and more proud because it was difficult. We had a lot of struggles. Not everything on this hike went pretty, but we put some skin in the game. At the end of the day, we were able to raise money and we'll be able to use that money so guys can get the treatment that they need. The War at Home Monument is an example of our social impact, of our awareness, of our permanent fixture to do the work that we can't always do, to always remind us of what we've lost and what we will lose if we don't reconcile it. What we've done is taken 20 different veterans with their family's permission and used them as a silhouette to cut out a 3,000-pound plate of steel. These warriors are placed in a V, and this is to show the size of the problem. This is to show the empty space they leave behind. And it's also to be a constant reminder of what happens when we don't listen to the stories of the warriors that fought in our name. Because it's not okay. It's not okay that everyone didn't know about veteran suicide. It's not okay that these things were a secret or left unsaid, or that it was shameful. It's not okay that it's shameful to suffer alone and suffer in silence, because if you ask for help, that you're no longer a warrior, that you're weak.
Yeah. So I come back and I thought everybody else changed. So I pushed my family away. And it took a long time to really realize it because I didn't want to look internally. I got my Class A CDL and hit the road. I was on the road for about 8 years trucking. And this makes me think about how insignificant all of the major things going on are. I mean, what, 1 million years ago, that blew up. And, over time became this.
Whether it's hiking mountains or building monuments, it takes a community to heal a warrior. Warriors didn't get damaged and didn't become separated from the sunlight of the spirit on their own. It happened in the name of this nation. We can change the way we think about war, how we think about warriors, how we think about ourselves, and what we think we're going to do in the American community. We can do it now. We can do it here. And there's going to be another generation of warriors coming. We can set the tone to create a culture that grabs them up and loves them and smothers them in resources and opportunity right now.
We're back live for the Cadenberry Motorsports 360 sprints here on the Dirt Track Bank Friday Night Lights Network. I'm Zach Chapman with Shaggy TV. Bringing you part 3 of 3. Crowds calm down a little bit here. Only 16 guys in this session. You know, we've seen these sprint cars have 30-some guys earlier times in the year, so everybody gonna make the show here. And tonight, as far as I'm concerned, that maybe lets the stars shine a little more. And I think one of those stars shining here lately, Sean Stevens. I'm going to go down and talk to him here. Sean, Shaggy, you in the booth, man. You got a copy?
Certainly do, mate. How are you?
Well, pretty good, man. As you see that 26 pull out on the track, how you feeling tonight? You know, do you think you got what it takes to go beat that old teammate of yours?
She was good before, not so much now, but yeah, we'll just take it as it comes and yeah, see what happens.
Now, we've seen the top in 1 and 2 be some trouble for drivers tonight with the full body cars, that bump. Have you noticed it be a problem in the sprint cars at all here this evening in practice?
To be honest, no, I haven't. Haven't really been on this week. I did one race this week, and that's about it since last week here. So just getting used to it since the update and rearranging a few things, and yeah, just getting used to it again. Track, yeah, it's going to slick off. Definitely 1-2. Probably going to want to hit the bottom. Yeah. That's pretty much a tip there for anyone listening. But yeah, see how we go.
Yeah, you know, in this new update here, Sean, I'll ask you one more thing before I let you go back to practicing here. But you know, some drivers have complained, some drivers liked it. I like it. What do you think about the dust? Do you like the fact that they brought it back?
Yeah, I actually like it. To be honest, it throws people off their game and probably make everyone a bit more aware of the racing that's going on around them, not so much, you know, just throwing it in there and hoping for the best. Probably a bit more cleaner racing. And, yeah, it'll be fun.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think it leads to people being a little more cautious and you get cleaner racing because of it. Well, Sean, man, P2 last week. We'll be rooting for you to get to that top step this week. Good luck, brother.
Cheers, buddy.
That's the wonder from down under, man. The Aussie Sean Stevens. Definitely always a class act here. Good runner, and him and Cadenberry, they are going to put on a show if they can get to the front. They always do. The 238 of Anthony Marv Julio just coming to a stop here, slowing down. Let's see who we got pulling off out there. Is that Donald Ingram? I believe, yeah, it wasn't that 10 machine. See there, we got a little bit over a minute here, and Joe is doing a little computer update. He's going to try to hop in here as a racer, try to give some people admin privileges here, so we won't be advancing practice early. We'll let this timer go, but that way, in case any drivers get black flags that shouldn't have, you know, it's kind of glitchy black flags, we'll be able to clear them here. They were getting into the wall, testing the durability of that right front here early. Something I'd want to be doing here at Lucas Oil. Want to keep that right front clean, that's for sure. You bang that right rear off the wall, that's all right. But as long as you don't bring that right front up back into it. You see that 79 of Dean Reynolds pulling off. He's going to have a protein shake here, fill up before we get ready to roll. YOB driver here, Sean Stevens, back on him. I don't know what it is about these Aussies, man. They own the sprint cars. I mean, Caden's been doing a pretty good job here for the USA boys, the New Hampshire Rocket, but Sean Stevens, man, those Aussies. I run some official races here in these sprint cars, and if you've got an Aussie in your room, he's going to be up towards that front. I can almost guarantee it. Nick Berry out here in the 85 turning laps. We'll wait for his paint job to load in. Pops out here. Put some time in. And well, that's going to do it here for warm-ups as we get ready to roll into qualifying. See who gets out on the racetrack here first. Who gets the camera time. A couple guys sitting in the pits. Nobody driving yet. It's going to be Nick Berry, actually. Guy who we stayed on that whole time, running in practice. Nick Berry pulling out on the track first. Let's watch him here for the opening lap. Comes out of 3 and 4. Run that bottom here, the opening lap in 1 and 2. And now this is where, I've said it once, I'll say it again. It's first lap in qualifying. I try to treat it like asphalt. Run it towards the outside. It may be the fastest lane. And if it isn't, you still carry that speed to come back and run the bottom here in lap number 2. Is right now, Dino Dean Reynolds, he moves to the top of the charts with a 13.55. Can the 79 find more time through 3 and 4? He's shopping down low. The Ant-Man quicker in sector 1, and that's enough to take it from his teammate. The Ant-Man in the 32. He's going to set quick time here early, but a couple drivers still yet to go out here and put down a time. Derek Pettetti here. The KBM driver. Have to see what Derek can do. Caden's teammate here in the 41 coming around lap number 1. Derek's going to move up to P4 as Anthony Marvulio sets quick time in the 2:38, a 13.40 for 13.39, excuse me, for Anthony Marvulio. Derek Pettetti up to P2 on lap number 2 as the Aussie parks at P3, lap number 1. Sean Stevens through 1 and 2. Purple sector 1. Faster through sector 2. Quick time for the Aussie in the 26. Sean Stevens with a 13.34. The New Hampshire Rocket ripping down the top shelf. What does he do lap number 1? Not as quick as he'd like. 4th place. Can he get quicker? He is through sector 1. Look at that purple. What can he do through sector 2? Caden Berry, the New Hampshire Rocket. P2, the Aussie, with just enough. Wouldn't let the Rocket take flight here in qualifying, and just like that, qualifying is over. Your top 5, Sean Stevens, Caden Berry, Anthony Marvulio, Derek Pettetti, and Anthony Morano. I have to see all drivers. Yeah, everyone's put in a qualifying time, so we're just waiting here for qualifying to come to an end. We see that white up top, so should get ready to go here. Only 2 heat races, I believe. We'll have to see here, but I would think only 2 heat races. And starting on the outside of row number 4, rounding out the field in heat race number 1, the 43 of Andrew Harley, and to his inside, the 777 of Jesse Ingram. Outside of row number 3 in the 51, Putt Clay Christofferson, and to his inside in the 56, Randy Shreves. The 10 of Donald Ingram lines up on the outside of row number 2, and to his inside, the 32 of the Magic Ant-Man, Anthony Morano. Row number 1 to the outside in the 2:38. That's Anthony Marvulio. And starting on the pole for heat race number 1 in the 26, Aussie, the wonder from down under, Sean Stevens. There's no heat race more important than heat race number 1. No doubt, you want to go out there, you want to be able to set the bar here. Start on the front row for the feature, and to do that, you got to be able to ace this start. So let's see what Sean Stevens does here. We roll down the backstretch for the final time, and we'll have 8 laps to go playing the clay at Lucas Oil Speedway as the green flag is high. It's ready to fly. The 360 sprints are underway. The Aussie with a good run downstairs here. Does he try to float up, carry that speed? He does, and now he sneaks right into the middle as the Magic Ant-Man gets a big run on the inside here. But he's got to back off and battle on for 4th as Marv Julio looks to the outside of the 56 of Randy Shreves. Anthony with a great qualifying effort, but come out here, he's kind of let himself down here in the opening lap. Down 5 spots, started 2nd, back to 7th. Is a battle on for 3rd here. Clay Christopherson trying to fend off the 56 of Randy Shreves. Randy Shreves trying to mount a charge there, that RSR 56. Can he find a way around putt-putt? Clay Christopherson, maybe not the fastest driver right now, but I'll tell you what, he's the damn smoothest driver out there. That's what putt-putt does. He doesn't make mistakes. He hits his marks, and if the 56 wants to get by, he's going to have to get aggressive. That's what he does. Goes up there, parks it on the nose of Clay, and with 3 more laps to go, this time coming out of turn 4, Sean Stevens looking to start on the front row here for tonight's feature. Already out to a 2nd lead over the Magic Ant-Man. Anthony just trying to be as smooth as Sean, but man, that's tough right now. Sean just guiding that thing in there. He's like a cruise missile. No wasted motion. No ill effort whatso at all there for Sean Stevens as you see that white flag fly. 1 more trip around for the Aussie. Sends it off into 3 and 4 for one final set of corners. And he sees the checkered flag wave, and he's going to start on the pole for tonight's feature at the Lucas Oil Speedway. Anthony Morano P2, Randy Shreves 3rd. Clay Christopherson edges out Anthony Marvulio. Jesse Ingram and Andrew Harley round out the field. Alrighty, let's get ready for our 2nd and final heat race here. Heat race number 2. Starting on the outside of row number 4 in the 40, that's James Ingram. And to his inside, the 85 of Nick Berry. Outside of row number 3 in the 032, Richard Swavely. And to his inside, in the 05, Scrappy Doo Braden Carter. A Full Throttle Motorsports row number 2 to the outside, the 018 of Logan Wentz. And to his inside, his teammate in the 79, Dino Dean Reynolds. Row number 1 for heat race number 2. Got a couple of KBM drivers to the outside in the 41. That's Derek Pettetti. And to the inside, the Phenom, the New Hampshire Rocket in the 1-2, Caden Berry. As we get ready here, heat race number 2 at Lucas Oil Speedway. This is going to determine the outside starting rows here for tonight's feature. After this, we'll have a quick little warm-up before the drivers get ready to go play here for 30 laps. Going to give us a sense of what we have here. If Caden Berry kind of walks away, it might be a 2-man show between him and Sean. If Derek can hang with him, well, man, get the cards out. It's time to play. As the green flag's high, it's ready to fly. We're underway at Lucas Oil. Dino with a good run to the inside. Can he find grip going down the backstretch right now? Tries to pull even with the 41, but can't do so. Sends it in a little deep. Can't float up in front right now, though. Almost finds himself in the sandwich there. Braden Carter does a smart thing, backs out, but they were almost 3 wide. Logan Wentz trying to rip the outside in that 018. He doesn't want to do too much, though. That's his teammate in the 79. You don't want to get too aggressive and get into Dino, but now he's coming into the clutches of the 85. Nick Berry, that wheelman, trying to wheel around that 85. Oh, he sees contact in front of him. Nowhere to go. We have 4 drivers involved here, and all of a sudden, James Ingram, looking like a genius rolling by on the bottom. He moves up into the top 4. Caden Berry all by himself, 1.2 seconds out front as we roll through 1 and 2. down the backstretch and into 3 and 4. Looking to get 3 to go, this time by the New Hampshire Rocket. All but gone. Dean Reynolds, can he find a way to get up here and flirt with P2? Derek Patetti, just too smooth in that 41. Maybe doesn't have the speed his teammate out front has, but pretty dang close. And when you're as fast as those KBM drivers are, you know, you need a lot more than one mistake to run them down. And you're going to need a couple hiccups out of that 41. And I just don't know with the white flag client has Dino run out of time. Caden Berry, the New Hampshire Rocket, sends it into 3 and 4. Coming up on lap traffic, he's going to get to the high side. No trouble. He takes home heat race number 2, followed by Derek Patetti, Dean Reynolds, Logan Wentz, Jesse Ingram, Richard Slavely, Braden Carter, and Nick Berry. And well, you know the deal by now. We take a quick break here on the Dirt Track Bank Friday Night Lights Network. I'm going to leave you here for the racing, of course, as always. But Shaggy's going to mute himself. And maybe go grab a drink here, and we'll see what happens. Okay, so Shaggy's back here. Faith-based motorsports. Give me some help here. Is Brendan running on Nick's account? Like, is Nick the father? And then Brendan is, I assume, Caden's brother? Help me out here. I didn't know that. So whenever I see Nick Berry, I can say Brendan. I don't have the best memory, but I probably should be able to remember that. Okay, cool deal. Thanks for letting me know that. I appreciate that. So, yeah, I'll keep that in mind here. Now oh, you just answered my question. I was about to say, now is Brendan older or younger? Okay, so he's 11. Cool deal, man. That's awesome. You're doing a good job trying to build that thing. Good deal. You get a little time on the sim. Try to chase down the older brother. That's pretty neat. Yeah, thanks for letting me know that. Like I say, I wish I would have known that before. I feel bad saying Nick. But yeah, I can easily change that to Brendan here. As checkered flag waves, we get ready to roll for the Caden Berry Motorsports 360 sprints. Let's see if we can get ready. Let's see if we can get a starting grid here. Being a little slow on Shaggy today. Don't know what that's about. There we go. Now, not very often you say this, but rounding out the field in the 05, Braden Carter starting on the outside of row number 8. And to his inside in the 10, Donald Ingram. Brendan Berry lines up on the outside of row number 7. And to his inside in the 43, Andrew Harley. Outside of row number 6 in the 032, that's Richard Swavely. And to his inside in the 777, that's Jesse Ingram. James Ingram takes the 40 and lines up on the outside of row number 5. And to his inside, the 238 of Anthony Marbolio. Row number 4 to the outside in the 018, that's Logan Wentz. And his FTM teammate to the inside in the 51, Putt-Putt Clay Christopherson. Dean Reynolds takes the 79 and lines up on the outside of row number 3. And to his inside, the 56 of Randy Shreves. Derek Patetti takes the 41 and lines up on the outside of row number 2. And to his inside, the Magic Ant-Man, Anthony Morano. Row number 1 for your Cadenberry Motorsports 360 Sprint feature at the Lucas Oil Speedway. On the outside, the New Hampshire Rocket, Cadenberry. And to the inside on the pole, Aussie, Sean Stevens, as we get ready to drop the hammer and go play 30 laps at the Lucas Oil Speedway. Sean Stevens gets the good jump on the kid. He knows he needs to get out front, try to shut the door. That 12 was really fast there in warm-ups. 10th and a half quicker than the rest of the field, so you got to get the go one now if you're the 26. Cadenberry shopping downstairs looking for a discount here. I think he found one. Sean shuts the door. Caden has to lift. And all just like that, Cadenberry to the inside here. He's not going to go away, but the caution comes out. And the Aussie's going to get put back on the top step for now. Not too sure what happened here. Let's see if we can get a view. So the 43 gets tagged from Brendan Berry, goes around, and just like that, involved in a wreck early. Guys got a tow, try to repair this thing. It's gonna be a long night there for a couple guys in the back. Wonder from down under. Feeling comfortable in the top right now here. As we pace around to get Donald Ingram pulling back out on the racetrack. He'll be able to get back in line. Drivers look to pull those belts one more time here. Got plenty of racing left, 27 laps. And you go out here and drop the hammer again. So if you're Caden, I think that's why you didn't mind getting the door shut on you. It was no hurry to go out there and make the pass. A lot of racing left, but right now for some reason, not too sure why, drivers single file. We have a single file restart here, so see what we have here. Brendan Berry still currently in pit road, not able to get out as we drive through 3 and 4. The Aussie looks to drop the hammer. And we're back underway here at the Lucas Oil Speedway. Good restart from Caden Berry in P2. Timed that very well. Anthony Morano holding on to P3 for now. Can Randy Shreves find a way around? He started 5th, up to 4th, but battle heating up for the lead. Caden looking to that outside here, and he's got one heck of a run. New leader as we enter 3. Caden Berry looking to steal the show here. Takes the lead on lap number 5. Back downstairs goes the Aussie. Can't find grip as we got another caution here on the racetrack. Let's see what we can find. Richard Swavely possibly involved. Let's see what we can see here from the 032. Got a little bit of a blinker in front of him there, the 43 of Andrew Harley. I think they might have made contact when he was blinking, and well, just like that, the caution comes out. Tough break here, but, in the internet world, that kind of stuff can happen. You almost expect it. And I told you, though, you're almost crazy if you didn't take Caden Berry setting the pace out front early. And, I mean, it's what we expected until we see something different. You know, it's a definition of insanity, you know, doing the same thing over and over, expecting different results. And, I mean, if you keep putting Caden in this field and you keep expecting him not to win, you may be insane, because we've seen time in, time out. He can have a mistake, he can have a little hiccup, and he drives his way back to the front. The New Hampshire Rocket is the real deal. It's only going to push the Mini Rocket in that 85 that much harder. Catch up to Big Brother here. So we get ready to drop the hammer. 24 laps to go. Caden Berry looking to rip the outside here. Feeling comfortable up top on this restart. Going to find this patch attack. No, he's not. He's going to do it right up there. Still feeling good. Brings us back to the green. We got 24 laps to go. The Aussie steps downstairs. Can't find a quick run. And, I mean, really, right now, you're basically looking for a cheap pass on the kid, because, you know, if this thing stays green, he's going to walk away. That's what we've seen night in and night out. And right now, battle on, though, for third place. Randy Shreves trying to get around the Magic Ant-Man. He's got a big run on that top shelf. He takes the final step of the podium. Anthony says enough's enough. He drives it in there, but he goes in a little too deep, jumps the cushion, and all of a sudden, here comes Dean Reynolds. Can he find a way to get around into P4 as we jump on the front wing? Dino looking to that outside. He's going to get a good run here. Can he get enough of a run here to get to the inside? Answer's no. Goes right back up to the top shelf as the Ant-Man feels more comfortable downstairs. Dean Reynolds probably can't see a dang thing in there right now as we go on board in the cockpit. You hear iRacing, it even changed the sounds for the drivers. So my apologies. This is kind of what it sounds like for us. That's why I haven't tweaked it for you guys yet, because well, I didn't want to make it too loud over the broadcast, but that's clearly too quiet. Tell you who's not quiet right now, all those 12 fans, man. He is gone, in the words of Timothy Eldridge. Amen, brother. 1.5 seconds out front. Good night. These guys are going to need some help here. You know, he's going to need him to turn into Mrs. Fletcher out there. You know, she's falling and she can't get up. But I don't think Caden's going to fall anytime soon. That rocket, man, plenty of fuel in that thing here tonight. Derek Patetti trying to find his way around the Ant-Man in the 32 here. Trying to do some shopping, but right now Anthony's in his lane, and everybody going up to this top shelf right now. We've seen people give up on the bottom. We talked to Sean Stevens early. He thought the bottom may come in here late. We're seeing Randy Shreves right now making some work in the middle. He's finding some grip. Can Randy Shreves take that 56 and move to the middle step of the podium? Randy gets back in the gas a little hard there, and you can see the rear end steps out. He loses all that time he gained, and it's where these things, it really is. If you hop on this thing, if you get iRacing and you think you're just going to sit down in that seat and put the pedal to the floor and be good, I can tell you that's nothing to do with it. That's maybe 7% of it. And if you go to the floor, you're never going to be good, because I can tell you right now, if you're putting the car to the floor right now as the 56 or Sean Stevens, you're giving it too much gas. You're going to lose the rear end. You're not going to be able to utilize the grip the tire has left. It's all about being a master of that foot right now. You got to use what you got. Let's give the kids some love too, man. 3.5 seconds out front. Here we go, Caden Berry. Good night. Caden just rolling around. He's coming up on lap traffic. But we've got a caution here. Sean Stevens involved. What happened with the Aussie here? Caution flies. Gets a couple bumps there from the 56 and goes around, and ooh, the wonder from down under. He may not be a happy camper there after that one. And, let's see, is he on a mission here? Does he maybe calm down? I think he had time to think about it, calm down, didn't want to go up there and do anything to get him in any trouble. And Sean Stevens, he was running P2, finds himself in the back, and I can almost guarantee you he doesn't do another interview with Shaggy here pre-races. That's the first one I've done. We give him some bad luck. And our drivers, they tend to believe in that. You know, if you get interviewed by a guy and you win, you want him to keep interviewing you, and if get interviewed by him and you wreck, well, it's all his fault. What was he thinking interviewing me? His pace truck gets ready to pull off. We'll have 8 laps to settle it here at the Lucas Oil Speedway. Can the Rocket hold on, or can Randy Shreves find a way to pounce on the kid here? Not a lot of time as the green flag is high. It's ready to fly. 8 laps to play in the clay at Lucas Oil Speedway. We're underway. Anthony Morano trying to come back at that 56. He got a good run on the bottom. Immediately drives it up top. Tries to diamond it off, but can't find that drive in the middle of the corner. And just like that, the Rocket, man, he's gone. 6/10 out front. Make it 3/4 of a second here as we enter 3 and 4. Battle on for P2. Caution out once again on the racetrack is not too sure. I believe is Brendan Barry involved once again here. We'll have to see what we can find here on the replay. The 85 running around here. Brendan just not seeing the 32. There may have been some contact in front of him. Gets into that right rear and hard into the outside wall. Just like that, Brendan Barry, man, his night may be over. So we got the Rocket still leading the way out front. You know, that's also, yeah, faith-based. That's also, you know, a product of this new smoke. Probably didn't see that contact in front of him. We saw that car into the infield, and the 32 maybe not at full health there, slow on the racetrack. But when you got all that dust in front of you, it's tough to be able to nab that and see it. Pace truck pulls off. We get ready to go play here one more time. We'll have 6 laps to get it done here at Lucas Oil. Caden Berry making it look easy out front once again. Will he be able to hold the field off? 6 more laps at the Lucas Oil Speedway. We're back underway. Anthony Shreves Randy Shreves there with the closest he's been in the last 3 laps, but didn't get a run off the corner. And Anthony Morano now to his inside. Battles back on for P2. Give it to Anthony here in the middle of 1 and 2. He's found some grip down there. The Ant-Man's probably got that throttle mashed in the middle of the straightaway. Able to let that left rear feed on that grip. You see he's out of that shine, and he comes right back to him at the end of the straightaway. But right now, Randy putting up a good enough fight that in the middle of the front stretch, he was able to hold on to second, but this time by at the line, you gotta give it to Anthony in the 32. Anthony making it work here. He's relentless down there. Gotta really woe it down, slow it down, get that left rear in the tack and let it eat. He's got the spot. Randy Shreves ducked in line going down the front stretch. As we roll through 3 and 4, the New Hampshire Rocket sees that white flag, and he's got one more lap to bring it home. Caden Berry, nothing short of perfect here in the 360 sprints all season. And the Rocket does it again. He takes home the checkers by 2 seconds here at Lucas Oil Speedway. Anthony Morano, P2, and Randy Shreves rounds out your podium. Derek Patetti, 4th, and Dino, your top 5 here. For the Caden Berry Motorsports 360 Sprints, what a way to wrap up Dirt Track Bank Friday Night Lights. A great night once again here at the Lucas Oil Speedway. So we give the drivers a minute or two here to catch their breath and see if we can't get an interview here with the 56 of Randy Shreves, but nobody up here just yet, so be patient with Shaggy. As we got our leader up there in the waiting, or technically down there, as it's below my list on the Discord. Got Caden Berry in there. And now we do have Randy Shreves. So let's go ahead.
Man.
I always do that, Randy. Every time you thank a driver, I don't let you and I pull you up here. My apologies. But hey, man, how you feeling? You know, that thing, it looked fast as hell there. And then it seemed like about 7 or 8 laps to go. Maybe lost a little bit of grip in that right rear and just didn't have that speed anymore.
Yeah, I was just kind of searching around trying to find a quicker line, and it got me off my original line. So, yeah, I definitely slowed down a lot there at the end. Noticed Anthony started catching me on the bottom, so I was like, man, should I just stay on the bottom and try to just follow him? Or I don't know. I just ran where I felt comfortable and, ended up 3rd, but can't complain about that.
No, man, and you know how it is, Randy. If I'm an honest man, if I'm running in this race, I'm about 4 or 5 spots behind you if I'm lucky. But what goes through your guys' head, man? How do we beat this kid? I mean, it's unbelievable what he's coming out here and doing.
Yeah, Caden, man, he's a really good driver, man. He's a wheelman for sure. He does it in real life. Maybe that has a little something to do with it. But he's a fast kid, and hopefully somebody will have something for him this season. But by the way, it looks like he's on a roll. So we'll just have to see.
Well, Randy, we're gonna have to get you out here practicing some more, man. We need a driver here who beats me regularly to go out here and beat him. So I feel a little better about myself. What do you say?
Yeah, unfortunately, I got to leave actually tomorrow to go to Florida for a week. So I'll be off the sim, and I'll probably end up missing next Friday Night Lights, which is very unfortunate for me. But I'll be back. I don't know if I'll be able to qualify for the big show or not, because I think I've missed 2 races already. Just been one of them years, man, and I'll keep running this thing for fun.
Well, hey, Randy, you got a fan up here, man. Absolutely love having you. Great run tonight. Congrats on the P3. Who you want to thank before I kick you out of here?
Thanks. First and foremost, I want to apologize to Sean Stevens for getting into him under caution there. It's just kind of, I don't know. I think he was trying to block me, and then the caution came out, and then, I don't know, he slowed down, and I didn't. So I spun him and kind of ruined his night, so I apologize for that. But definitely want to thank everybody here at Friday Night Lights, you, Shaggy, for the broadcast, KSB Builders, Dylan Shreves Designs, and everybody for watching.
Well, hey, heck of a run, Randy. And, man, if we don't have you back next Friday, enjoy your vacation, brother.
Thanks, man.
And now we bring up somebody who, he may not be honest with me, but I can tell you after the night he didn't think he was going to be here on the podium. Anthony, you drove that thing up here, man, and you looked real good at the end in the slick. That's when we know this 32 excels.
Yeah, it was actually I was having a lot of trouble in 3 and 4. 1 and 2, I was able to find a bottom there the last stint, and was able to get around Randy. And I was trying. I just like every time I came out of 4, I spun the tires, and I was like, "Come on now!" And yeah, it's just trying to be patient with the throttle, and just that's all there is to it. Just being patient, especially here. I ran the tires pretty much all night, and I think I got 6th, 5th, and a 2nd. So we'll take it.
Yeah, now, you talked about, and we were actually riding on with you. There's one of those times you lost the rear end coming out of 4. And, Dino's talked a little bit about it in different times that I've talked to him throughout the week. But do you think, the fact since they brought this new build in, how it's a little harder to see that cushion, you think that makes it a little trickier to run the bottom? It's a little more difficult to tell when you're in that good area?
Honestly, this is the first time I've been on, so I'm still trying to figure that part out. I wasn't supposed to get the parts for my wheel until tomorrow, and came in this afternoon. I was like, "Sweet, can run tonight." So, yeah, but you can definitely see differences. I mean, the dust is pretty cool. I like that, but just it was harder to see the cushion in like say a 358s, but I mean, it's not too bad. Not too much of a drastic difference. I mean, the coloring, the track seems to stay more the same all the way across, which makes it a little more tricky, but it's not too bad.
Well, Anthony, for just getting the wheel fixed, man, come out here, download it, do a hell of a job, brother, running P2. Good run, man. Who you want to thank?
I got to thank my wife, Sherry, the boys over there at FTM, Dean with Super Dare Car, Logan at High Mom Lens, Gunnar at Swan Speed Shop, DJ Sim Shop, Expert Installation, Castleberry Flagstone, MDI TV, GripPack.com, Bowman's Designs, Shaggy, you for doing the broadcast, and Joe for doing everything he does here at FNL.
Hell of a run, Anthony. And before you go to bed tonight, you tell Dean to send me that Discord info. He sent me a sprint car league that I'm going to try to race tonight.
Okie dokie, will do.
All right. Good run, Anthony.
Thank you, sir.
And now, no shock here. Anybody who's been watching this season, you knew he was the favorite coming in. And, well, maybe didn't know you were going to make it look so easy there in the beginning, Caden. Talk to us about those opening couple laps, man. You're being extra patient. We could see how fast you were. It seemed like Sean was shutting the door on you, but you just waited for that moment, man, and when the high side opened up, you drove off.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, I knew where, Sean was going to run here. I mean, every time, when, really good, like, pro drivers or anybody comes in here at Lucas, they usually run that little cut down line in 3 and 4. So I knew that was definitely going to be a line, especially in the beginning. I mean, with me and Sean running it so early on in the race and everyone, trying to run the bottom in 3 and 4, it got rid of it, pretty early on, because usually that's kind of like the mid to end line of the race when you run that line. But I knew where he was going to run, but it just kind of made it more tough because I was running the line a lot faster than him there. I was just trying to obviously be a little patient too. I knew it was still early on in the race and didn't want to, wreck my car that early on, especially. And, once I had an opening that I could go for, obviously took it because I know battling with Sean there, with him holding me up a little bit there at the beginning of the race, I knew it would allow the, rest of the field in the back of the pack there was going to reel me and Sean in, with that happening, or at least me in. So it wouldn't have been good. So obviously, like I said, once I had my opening where I could get by Sean, I took the advantage and got around him, and we started pulling away. And I think we had one caution, then we continued back under green, and that's when I almost had a 4-second lead. And then we had a yellow again, and obviously was a little disappointed there. I was like, with tires going away, more at the end of the race, it kind of made me a little bit more nervous. But we still got the job done, and try to get out the field as much as we can so we don't have to worry about a late race slider for the win.
Yeah, and I know you don't do this on purpose, but, when you get out to those 3.5-second leads, I mean, you're almost just morally beating the you-know-what out of these guys that you may get a little nervous on these cautions, man, but they're so beat down behind you, they're just hoping they can keep up with you. It's pretty impressive what you've been able to do week in and week out, and, man, each week you drop my jaw. It's pretty amazing the dominance you're showing in these sprint cars. Hell of a run here tonight, kid. You know the deal, man. Who you want to thank?
Thank you first and foremost. I gotta give all glory to God. My mom and dad, my nana and grandpa, my grandmother Susie, my Grammy Ryder, TJ, Tim and Kevin, Granite State Blacktoppers, Juice Powder Coating, CRC, Z-Max, Driven to Save Lives, Victor Fuel, Turnaround Graphics, Ryder Family Sawmill, John Bear's Legacy Racing, Caden Berry Motorsports, and Derek's Action Shots. And also gotta thank you guys for putting on an awesome league.
Well, man, the New Hampshire Rocket does it again. Congratulations, kid. Big win.
Thank you.
Caden Berry takes home the Caden Berry Motorsports 360 sprints in, oh man, dominating fashion. You add up this lead that he had when all the cautions came out, rope that up to about 10 seconds or so. It's pretty unbelievable what he's been able to do and what he's going to continue to do. Can't wait to watch this kid develop and age. And, well, it's only a matter of time before it rubs off on Brendan as well. You can only watch Big Brother beat up on you so much before you want a taste of it yourself. So, Caden Berry, congratulations. Wraps up the night with a win, and that's going to do it for us here on the Dirt Track Bank Friday Night Lights Racing Network. I am Zach Chapman with Shaggy TV. Thanking you for tuning in. We should have Joe back healthy, ready to go next week. Maybe I'll sit here with him if he'll let me. We'll see what's going on. But on behalf of everyone in the Friday Night Lights, we'd like to thank you for tuning in and spending your Friday with us. Once again, I'm Zach Chapman from Shaggy TV, signing off. Have a good evening.